one.
Welcome to Burleigh Park. I'd like to say a beautiful afternoon to here in Cairns, but we've had some pretty wet and windy, wild conditions over the last week or so, which is meaning another wet track. The Savo for some footy. My name's Elliot Lovejoy, joined today, as always, from the Cairns Post, Rowan Sparks. Hello, mate.
Good afternoon. How are we?
Wet. Mate, it is moister than an oyster outside.
Where did it come from? That's what
I thought we were going to escape it today. I really did. But the downpour means wet weather footy, which means ball control today is going to be key in both our under-20s game, which are up first, and then, of course, the seniors kicking off at 6.
That's right. It's going to be going a long way to get a victory today, I think. Getting through those sets.
Let's have a look at the under-20s game. It's an interesting one. We're taking on the Burleigh Bears today. It's a battle of first and second in the 20s. Wholesale changes, though, because of the good performances from our 20s boys. We've seen some of the boys move up to the senior side. But going through the team, 1 to 17, Brandon Jaconia, who's been really good at the back. We have one of those under-18s boys getting a chance today. Ty Namabai will start on the wing. Also, Josh Talcharlie, the co-captain. Now, Damien Burke, he's been playing a lot of 5'8" this year, but if the mail we have is true, he'll move to the centres tonight.
I think so, yes. Damien will go into the centres, and I think he's just looking to get his hands on the ball a bit more out there, I think.
Connor Rothery is out on a wing tonight in the 6, Tamate Huirama. Simon Bevan, of course, at number 7, who's been fantastic all season. One of my man crushes, Uzziah Fanongaloa. He is in the front row with Marcus Nona. Locking the scrum tonight, Ryan Flegler, who's one of those 18s, a younger brother of Thomas, who's been playing really well for the Broncos. Also in that second row, Tommy McGrath. Helam Lukey, who has been the captain of the under-18s, been in terrific form, and our hooker tonight is Bo Berg. To the interchange bench, we have Zane Knowles in the 14, in the 15, Tasman McRobbie, and Colt Salmon, the Kiwi, in number 16. Actually, I've heard a dirty rumour about him that we'll get to very soon. And Tyson Finiasa at number 17 tonight. This should be a good challenge. As we said, wet track. The rain has just eased off a little bit, so hopefully not too wet out there to start, but I think the ground's pretty much soaked at this stage.
It'll be interesting. I'm keen to see how some of these new boys go. Obviously, Ty Namabai on the wing there, a Tully Jr., and actually played for Tully last weekend, but he's got the call up. He's been battling a bit of an injury to start the season, so finally gets a go, and I think he'll make the most of it tonight.
First v second, as we mentioned, in our under-20s clash tonight. Kickoff is in about 7 or 8 minutes' time. Before we get there, let's have a quick look at the main game later on. The big news is that we have retained Jakey Clifford. He will play again tonight for the Northern Pride, and I suppose he's looking to force his way back into that Cowboys squad.
Absolutely. He's really wants to take control of the game tonight, and that's the instructions from Coach Ty Williams, Pride coach. And he'll partner an old next-door neighbour in Jack Campagnolo in the halves tonight.
A couple of Tully boys, aren't they?
Yeah, well, Tully's going all round. Obviously, Ryan Flegler in the under-20s. Another Tully boy getting the call up there.
All right, that main game kicks off at 6 p.m. But get down here to Burleigh Park. We are only about 6 or 7 minutes away from kickoff in our under-20s tonight. It is the Northern Pride taking on the Burleigh Bears in round 10. As I said, plenty of time to get down here, plenty of seats available, and we're hoping this weather clears up. What we're going to do is take a quick word from our sponsors and come back with kickoff in our under-20s after this. Game tonight. It is the Northern Pride under-20s taking on the Burleigh Bears. A top-of-the-table clash in this, first v second. Should be a cracker. Wet conditions, of course. If you're just catching up with us on Pride TV, it's all thanks to Sea Swift, who are keeping the northern end of Australia together. Rowan Sparks alongside me. My name's Elliot Lovejoy. This should be an absolute belter, my friend.
It's going to be a good one. And we talked before about a couple of the new guys. Hui Rama, another one. Came off the bench in Mackay 2 weeks ago in the hooking role. Obviously, injury with Jai Doherty. He's come into the number 6, so interesting to see what kind of impact he has on the game.
Wet weather conditions are the key, especially for these young blokes who are wanting to show off their skills and have done so this year. Only one loss to the under-20s so far is ball control. I think whichever team holds onto the ball and wins the possession game this first 20 minutes will go a long way to winning this one. We're just about ready to get underway. It's the Pride that will keep kicking off. They'll be running left to right on your screen. And it will be Brandon Jaconia to get things underway.
Thanks, lads. Right. Behind the kicker.
Here we go, round 10 of the under-20s Colts competition, and it will be Burleigh to take the ball forward first, and Josh Telcharlie straight away in defence in doing his work. Burleigh, very reminiscent of those old Northern Eagles jersey when Manly and the Bears amalgamated way back when.
And not afraid to run the scoreboard up, these Bears. Scored more than 50 in their last 3 outings. So
they're going pretty well. Their senior side going well as well. I think they've won their last 5 on the trot, as that's Jackson Paulo taking the ball well over halfway for the Bears. Strong opening set for them, using their outside backs early. Lockie Turnbull is playing hooker tonight, and that was Sheldon. I think just lost his feet under him. The first sign already of the wet conditions tonight. They go to the air early. It's a tester at the back, and it may have gone out of the fall. It has done. Good communication there between Jaconia and I think that's Ty Namabai getting his go tonight from the under-18 system. And they'll let that one go out. And the ball will be brought back into play from where it was kicked. Burleigh marched up field pretty easily there, though.
Really nice set there through the middle, but just didn't finish it off.
Tom McGrath with the Pride's first hit up of the game. I think he's got a fresh cut just in time for this one. Him and Bo Berg, I think, have been cutting each other's hair all season long. Seems to be working. No reason to stop. Number 10 tonight is Marcus Nona, the Tully Tiger Jr. There is the Pride trying to come out of their own end. That is Hui Rama in the 6. He's a big boy for a 5'8". Solid Jaconia. Dangerous early. Makes an easy 15 metres. And he is tackled about 41 metres out from Burleigh's line. Damien Burke into dummy half. It's our man Fanongaloa who rumbles forward. And he'll play the ball. Geez, they're holding on for a long time, working him over. Almost that Melbourne Storm wrestle to the Bears 20s. Bo Berg goes short side. Nice ball from Bevan out to Damien Burke, who had been his halves partner for a lot of this season. Has moved out to left centre tonight. Berg back into dummy half. Bevan wants it on the last. He'll go to the air. It's a good looking kick. A contest here. Perhaps signs of a push out of the way. There's hands on it from everyone. Namabai has the ball, and it's 6 to go. The Pride will have a real chance here. Wanting a quick play of the ball, they'll get it. Probably not the man you want at dummy half. It's Nona, and it just broke down very quickly. Unfortunately, Hui Rama puts that one down, and we've got a second to breathe tonight.
And a chance now to mount some pressure early on, which is good signs.
Very much a new back line for the Pride under-20s, so it'll take a while to get some of these combinations right. A few injuries. Steve Stafford's been playing awesome. He's out, as is Jai Doherty.
Stand up.
If we ever get this scrum fed.
Keep your feet back till the ball's in.
Yes, Jai Doherty with a hip flexor and just an ankle for Stafford. So.
Unfortunate, they've both been playing unreal. Bogue breaks from the back of the scrum. Bevan takes it to the line. And Hui Rama, with no options, takes the right one and is wrapped up 15 metres out from Burleigh's line. We go short side again. This is Lukey, the captain of the under-18 side in the 20 system. Burleigh screaming lost ball. I don't think it's called. I didn't see anything there. Berg from dummy half goes out to Bevan. Bevan to Hui Rama. Jaconia, just a couple of passes behind each other there. It's just stopped and started a little bit. Momentum lost there as Jaconia will play the ball 11 metres out. Berg back into dummy half. Goes himself. Shrugs off one. Tries to push through another and he's taken out. A couple of metres out. He looks dangerous every time he runs the ball.
Loves having a dart out of dummy half there.
Marcus Nona showing off his ball playing abilities. Goes to the halfback. That's Simon Bevan. Will be taken towards the back end of the set, which you never like when your half's been taken. That'll be a penalty, I would imagine. And is so. About 17 men in that tackle. It was pushed out. And in these conditions, would you take the 2?
I would. Whether they decide to or not, that's another story.
Bo looks like he's getting ready to tap here. Mounting the pressure. Very Alfie Langer-like of him.
Right here, I've got to get out of your way. You've got to tell me what you're doing first. Thanks, mate.
Glad that one was called back because Fernando, I don't think was charging onto that one like he normally does.
Let's go.
And the Pride will have another opportunity here. And Isaiah takes it forward. He's tackled about 3 metres out. All Pride early to start this one, but no points as of yet. Ryan Flegler, the younger brother of Thomas from the Broncos, charges forward, loses his pants, but almost scores. Good sponsorship signs for Skins there. Berg goes deep to Bevan, takes the ball to the line. Lukey did well to hold on to that one. And he's taken a couple of metres out. The Bears' defence so far holding strong. Berg, lovely ball. It's held on to, and I think Flegler has found a way to get that down. That is fantastic work. Number one, the ball, and then Flegler to hold on to that in these conditions. Jeez, he reminds you of his brother already.
Well, he just stormed onto it and found a hole, didn't he? Ryan Flegler.
Good eyes-up play from Bo Berg. He's such a clever little dummy half, isn't he?
So Flegler was actually brought in for his defence in the middle, I think, around these big boys. But obviously, mate, when you get a ball like that, you've just got to latch onto it, don't you?
Ran a great hole, and look at him get this down. That's terrific work in the wet.
Shout outs to Tom if he's watching the younger brother. Not sure if he'll be
Thanks, Will. Tell, mate.
at the laptop, but yeah.
He played well for the Broncos last night.
He's just a tackling machine, isn't he?
They got some good young forwards.
Hits and sticks.
That's the way. It'll be Jaconia with the goal-kicking duties. Normally Doherty's job, but as Rowan mentioned before, he's out with an injury for a little while. The restructured backline doesn't matter much when you score. It's for that your forwards, I should say, score that easy in the middle.
Okay, yeah.
Probably needed points there after opting to not take the 2. That's why we're not coaches. We both said take the 2, and they score 4. About to possibly be 6.
Yep.
And it is converted by Brandon Jaconia. It is your Northern Pride 6th. The Burleigh Bears 0. 7 minutes been played down here at Barlow Park.
So we saw Burleigh have quite a good start, march up the field, just getting that kick wrong, and that penalty there down on their own end towards the end of the set turned out to be a real killer. Yeah,
penalties are going to hurt you here, especially in these kind of conditions. We mentioned the kicking game.
Behind the ball!
But the discipline going to be so important too as we're back underway. It's a very high kickoff. Hui Rama juggles, but manages to take, and Nona will bring the ball back. Good post-contact meters, and he's about 16, 17 out from the Pride line. Berg, instrumental in that first try, goes to his good mate Tommy McGrath. He's another one that you very rarely see Berg go backwards, and that's another penalty to the Pride. 3 in that tackle. Looked like there was a couple of hands in there.
Yeah,
just gave the ref no option there. I think it looked very messy there.
Oh, that is an absolute shank from Bo Berg. He's found touch. I think that's why he doesn't get many of the kicking duties.
Bound to happen in these conditions, as you said.
100%. It's going to be difficult for the referees to work out two strip calls so far, but when the ball is like soap, it's hard to work out what's just popped out and what has been stripped. Oh, that's a great defensive read from the number 4 from Burleigh, who is Alan Lockwood. Jaconia was a sitting duck there, but geez, he hit him with everything.
Came flying out of the line, and as you said, a great read. Just probably had to go one deeper there, Pride.
Well, the thing is, when you come up and in like that, as he did, and he left his winger for dead, which is fair, you have to make that tackle, which he did. We saw an example the other night in the NRL. Fanua for the Tigers. Loves to jam in, but doesn't always hit and stick. There's a try scored at the end by Will Chambers because he couldn't hold under the tackle. That was well done by Lockwood.
Box all the way around.
The Tigers
Really
were going to snatch
gents.
that one.
Two hands for me, mate. Hang on, no, sorry.
Storm looked dead for all money, didn't they? Just find a way.
Beautiful, thank you. All in. Out.
So only the one real set for Burleigh, but it was a good one. So keen to see what they come up with here.
Yeah, they rolled up the field pretty well that first set. Turnbull into dummy half, just over halfway. And they bring it, bumped off there. That's Luke Maiden in the number 11 jersey. He's a pretty big boy for Burleigh. Hard to miss. Sheldon takes it forward this time. He's trapped centre field, 35 metres out from the pride line. They come out to this far side.
Outside.
Fuller is their 5'8" tonight. That ball looked marginal at best. It's been allowed to play on. And a great tackle from Jaconia, for me, there has saved a certain try. I mean, we can go back to the pass, which looked about 3 metres forward. But Jaconia still had to do his job. They always say play to the whistle, and his coach would be happy with that one.
Did seem to creep a touch forward, but yeah, well, he was positioned beautifully, and
Tom Brady would be proud of that.
Made some great contact early.
So Fuller is a nice little backline move. Campbell is their fullback tonight. Hop, skip, and come on. The touch is right there. How do you miss that?
Seconds and locks come together.
I know I'm biased, Rowan, but your silence says everything.
Do the same fullback. Hookers, just feed back to the
It was a
ball.
line ball.
Oh well, justice.
Ball in, mate.
Justice for all.
Out.
Berg again breaks early from the scrum, gets it out to McGrath.
Move together. Marcus.
Arm wrestle to start this one. Pretty high quality game of footy in the wet so far. Both teams trying to hold on to the ball. Oh, that whack.
Stand.
That's a big hit.
Big shot. Not sure if he's holding the shoulder there after that, but geez.
I missed, but I think that might have been their halfback that went in with that hit. Tuapiki, I think his name is. I probably got that horribly wrong. We don't have the pronunciation set up here today. And that is a drop ball from Mr. Lukey, and Burleigh will have another opportunity. They're hitting with everything they got at the moment.
Inviting them back in here. The Pride and the Bears are up for it. High fives are going around everywhere, especially on the back of that big shot.
That was a great hit.
It was Tuapiki, I believe.
Yeah. I think we'll have about a million variations of his surname tonight to
We're all here. Start packing in.
his family, the young halfback for Burleigh.
Do the same for me. Head the other way.
Apologies.
Good there. Outside
We'll try and
foot,
get it right
Tyler.
at some
Good.
stage.
Hookers, feet back.
Tuapiki.
Face the scrum for me, mate. Good job.
Tuapiki. We'll go with that for tonight.
13, early 13.
As coming infield for some work is Tapani,
Is involved? Yes.
number 5, and it's a
13's
penalty.
offside.
Pride inside the 10 off the
Differential.
scrum. And Burleigh
He's
just
offside.
allowing themselves a bit of time here
You gonna
to
tap,
work their
mate?
way
Okay.
back into this game. They'll tap and go.
Good.
And it's Sheldon who's had many a run to start this one. Lockie Sheldon in the 13.
Go 1. 12's there. 8's not.
Another Lockie, this one Turnbull, goes out to Fuller, pass a bit behind him, recovered well. Goes to Maiden.
11, release!
And Burleigh have an opportunity here. They are 6 metres out from the pride line. He's a big boy, that Luke Maiden. Oh, nice dummy and go. McGrath alive enough to it. Berg there helping. A couple others. Jaconia's got a hand in there. That'll be a penalty to Burleigh.
You're in the ruck. That's what forwards
The hard one's in the wet. You're trying to get your hands out of there, but as soon as you do that, that ball's going to pop out, and the referee can't really do much but award a penalty.
9. 9. What are you doing?
Set here for Burleigh.
On the line, 1 foot.
A test for the Pride.
Sepanowski taking the ball forward. Couple of metres out. Short ball. Wasn't charging onto that one, though. It was Pear. And he will play the ball 2 metres out. They go out to Fuller. Fuller out the back to Campbell. Campbell goes short this time. Doesn't throw the ball forward. And they're taken just a metre out from the Pride line. And they've ducked over. Jaden Campbell has scored. There's a Pride player down in back play who doesn't look very well. But in the meantime, that scoreline is 6-4 now. Who's that down? He's not well.
Connor Rothery, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it might be. It's a nice bit of work. Damien Burke just needs, you have to get low in these conditions when you're tackling that close to your line. And you just let him slip under him. Taking nothing away from Campbell, but
Do you need time
Damien
out,
would probably be a bit dirty on himself for that one.
Time out.
Showed some strength to Burrow over there.
Thanks, Bill.
Where we think that is Connor Rothery, the number 5 for the Pride today. He's not well.
He just didn't catch it on the replay. Look, the tackle
Thanks, mate.
I just think he went awkwardly into a tackle. Good to see him back on his haunches. Hopefully he's up and ready to go. Whilst we have a moment to catch our breath, because it has been end-to-end stuff to start this one, Pride TV, it's all thanks to C-Swift, whether you're watching, way up in the Torres Strait, or you're here in Cairns, sitting at home, staying out of the rain today. Big day to you. If you are in the region, get down to Burleigh Park. Our main game tonight is from 6 p.m, but this is taking nothing away from this one. This is under 20s, top of the table clash. First v second. And
it's delivered so far. I mean,
nice and cold.
Scores level.
Yep.
Thanks, mate.
Well,
6 points to 4, possibly level after this one. Looks like Rotherham is actually going to come off, which would be interesting because we've got some big boys on the bench.
How are we, boys?
Tasman McRobbie's in the 15. He's up stretching. I can't imagine he's going to come on and play on the wing.
Yep.
Might be a bit of a restructure here for the Pride.
Okay.
We hope Connor's okay. He's walking off the field mainly unassisted, so that kick is successful. So, Rowan, you predicted it. It is even. That kick's on you, mate. 6 points all.
It's a good one, too.
14 minutes gone here at Burleigh Park. Your Northern Pride out of the gates early with a try from Ryan Flegler from the under-18s today. Good start for him, but the Bears have managed to hit back thanks to a bit of field position. It is McRobbie that will come on in the 15. We'll just keep an eye out. He normally plays in the front row for the Pride. Looks like they're pushing Damien Burke potentially out to a wing. We'll see. We'll know more when they attack. For now, it is Bevan that's going to defend in the centres, as he often does. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Burke stay on the wing the rest of the afternoon, though. As the rain just started to come down a bit here. That's a lovely take from Tarpany, who offloads.
Together, Pride! Mark is in.
And Burleigh have a chance to work the ball again. Sepinowski plays it. Sheldon, who's been in everything to start, is hit very hard by Fanongaloa. Big Lukey Maiden, he's the biggest boy on the field. I want to see him and Fanongaloa run into each other. One-on-one, run straight.
A little glimpse there.
Fuller holds the ball. See, you're not going to get away with a lot of that in these conditions. The short balls where you play the ball to the line look great when it is dry. But when the track's wet, when the rain's teeming down, that from Fuller probably isn't the right play for Burleigh.
Very hard to execute under the conditions, as you said. And Pride now, we'll see how they go here. Another chance to mount some pressure early.
Ball control, we spoke about it before the game. That is going to be key. Both teams have had their struggles early. It would be like a cake of soap, as we mentioned, but you just got to tuck it under both your arms and hold on for dear life. So we see Zane Knowles warming up just on the sideline here for the Pride. I haven't seen much of him yet. Looking forward to seeing him today. Not sure where Daniel Lazarus is today, but he's been coming on for Bo Berg after about half an hour of most games. Done a good job.
Outside.
Bevan out the back. I think that's Hui Rama take it.
Stand now! Here, Burleigh! Hold!
If I'm not wrong, Hui Rama's battled some injuries before coming back tonight.
Left side, okay, I'll work out.
Yeah, just missed the start of the season. Had some injuries.
Lovely offload.
Under 18s Player of the Year last year.
Fanongaloa got that one rolling forward. The Pride ended up making about 25 metres on the play. Bo Berg comes to this near side. Josh Telchali, the pass just behind him, makes the right decision and decides to hold it.
Wait!
Berg now scheming, decides to come out to Hui Rama. He offloads onto Nona, who's been solid to start this one, and he'll play the ball 19 metres out from Burleigh's line. A chance for the Pride to hit back here and mount a bit of pressure. They get it out to Bevan. Bevan decides to hold, goes himself. A nice run. He's taken down 10 metres out. A real test here for Burleigh's defence. And the Pride's attack. It'll be Jaconia that kicks with Bevan tackled on the last. It's an awkward one. It's knocked on. Namabai picks up, and that's a try.
Wowee.
Woo!
Skittled them all.
That is the worst kind of kick to pick up in the wet, so it's a brilliant one from Jaconia. And I believe that may be Ty Namabai's first try in the 20s.
Yes, definitely. Well done, young Ty.
He's built like a brick, you know what, isn't he? He's almost in that Matt Utai kind of build. Remember the old winger for the Dogs?
Legs like tree trunks.
Yeah, solid. Oh, jeez. Tarpany took a brilliant one earlier for Burleigh, but he'd like to have that one back. And Namabai did well because that wasn't easy to pick up. You'd get excited. All you had to do was fall on the line afterwards, but he's done well there.
It was very opportunistic there.
10 points to 6 now, the Pride lead. 18 minutes gone in this first half at Burleigh Park, the under-20s. Top of the table clash, that's right, first v second today. The Pride had their first loss last week in the 20s competition, but before then had just been faultless.
Last round down in Mackay. Just the Cutters got out to an early lead on the Pride, and they just couldn't really rein them back in.
Yep.
Obviously, Dave Scott's
we're starting to get
made
a little bit of
some changes, and
now, a little bit more rhythm to the game.
was he come out looking fresh today?
So let's just keep working hard on what we've set it up.
It's been a good battle through the middle so far. Some big forwards on both sides. Luke Maiden is an absolute monster. He's wearing the number 10 tonight for Burleigh. As Jaconia lines this one up, looking to extend it to a converted try, the lead. And no kick is easy in these conditions, and unfortunately that's been proven there as it skews off to the left. It remains 10 points to 6. Jaconia, not normally first choice goal kicker. Normally Jai Doherty does that, but he is out injured tonight. So it will be Brandon with the job to do, you would assume, the rest of the evening. It's Burleigh about to get us underway, and it looks like some sunshine is popping out here in Cairns. We haven't seen that in about a week. Oh, geez, that's a good take from Hui Ramo. One of those floating knuckleballs.
I wasn't giving him much chance,
but
he proved me wrong.
Namabai shows us the full moon before it's even night time, and it is Marcus Nona that takes it forward. How's that in debut? A try and you bare bum to the world.
Hold, go two.
Well, we've seen both try scorers get their pants pulled down today.
Hopefully not a theme of things to come the rest of the game. For Nongaloa, how long can you wrestle in that? Sheldon gets away with that one. Short side again to Flegler. He already has a try under his name today.
Release! Here, Burleigh, hold! Go 4.
And he'll play the ball about 45 metres out.
Outside.
Bevan to kick.
That's fine.
He's looking for the touchline, won't find it.
His run 10.
And I think this is Jaden Campbell bringing the ball back, and he's done so well. Electric speed to get through one, and I don't think... Oh, this is a great chase. How's that tackle? Brandon Jaconia and Tuapiki. A chance here. Oh, they had to go through the hands there, Burleigh. Have they bottled this one? The man that makes the break is taken down, Campbell. What a chase, Jaconia.
Big opportunity out to the right on the play prior there, but they just couldn't get it out there.
Had to go right straight away. Luke Maiden, still a real chance for Burleigh, though, as they're 5 metres out from the line. The Pride scrambling. Oh! Dropped over the line by Jackson Paulo. And Brandon Jaconia, take your hat off to you, young man. That was a fantastic chase, and to hold on for the tackle, not let them slide over the line in the wet.
Well, he just took off, didn't he?
I mean, we're early in this one, but that could be the play of the game already.
Let's go.
Have a go at this. Jaconia, unbelievable speed and to hold on in the tackle, but they then bottled it next play. They had to go right, Burleigh.
Start forming up.
Had to be a shift on there.
Good.
Pride players scrambling to get back, but
good. Pull back for me, thanks, mate.
and Paulo a bit unlucky there.
After the run. All the
Who was
way
the Penrith player? Wait, went Scotty Sattler.
2 hands, there's
The
your
chase on the Roosters player. Reminiscent.
Okay, stand up.
I think Jaconia's a bit faster than
I warned you
Sattler.
earlier about keeping your feet back. Keep them back. Wait. Wait, one, you got to lock in. Go, mate.
Scrum's just proving a bit difficult today.
Are they? I don't know if it's conditions or what's going on. And Namabai makes the right decision. He was looking to cut infield anyway, but once he lost his footing, made sure he didn't try and get back up and go again. Easy to get pushed over the sideline in the wet. McGrath tries to bump off one and rattles it up to the 30-metre line. Tries to milk a penalty, doesn't get it. Charlie read well in defence there. He looks a good player, the hooker for Burleigh. It's Lockie Turnbull in the white headgear. They go behind Nona to Flegler, who has another hit up. Been strong to start this one. He's going to be a good player, especially as he gets a little bit older, a little bit bigger, puts on a bit more size. We've seen his brother playing for the Broncos. He's a real talent. Bevan, that ball just behind him again. Lukey is taken. Wrestled to the ground 45 metres out. A pretty good defensive set so far from Burleigh. And Bevan is forced to kick inside his own half. Finds a bit of space. And Tarpany looking to make up for that error earlier that led to a Namabai try. He's tackled 30 metres out from his line. The man that made the break earlier, Jaden Campbell, he looks elusive. He couldn't weigh more than about 50 kilos, but geez, he's fast.
Go 2. Marcus is good. 2.
Looking for some work, Jackson Paulo. Big boy for a centre. I think he plays in the second row a bit too. I was reading about him before. Luke Maiden off to Sheldon. almost been their best player so far is the number 13 for Burleigh.
Hold, gents.
Lucky Sheldon.
Hold.
An arm wrestle to start, though, and it's a penalty to Burleigh.
Yeah, it's not where you want it in the set if you're the Pride.
It looks very much, I know we've had wet conditions. I'd love to see these two play again in the dry.
What are you doing? Are you kicking that way,
But
mate?
it looks very much a top of the table clash, doesn't it?
There's your mark. Let me get out of your way.
Definitely. Both sides
Right
testing
back,
each
Cam,
other
that's
right up the middle early.
And Lachlan Sheldon with another
One,
hit up.
Marcus
He's
got
been
there.
very busy to start this one. It's a nice run for Tristan Powell. Gets the offload away as well. They go back to Sheldon. Looks dangerous. Hard to stop from there.
He's been everywhere, isn't he?
He has. Finiastra is on for the Pride. Just seen him in that tackle. And a long ball out. Bumps off one is Paulo, looking to bust through a couple more, but is wrestled to the ground by Nona and McGrath. Another opportunity here for Burleigh.
10, you're offside.
It's a big run, wrestled and held up in goal is Sepanowski.
Tackle
Ty
4.
Sepanowski, the number
10
8
metres
for
me,
Burleigh.
Tyler, please. Markers.
Did everything he could to get that one up, but it's good defence by the Pride.
On tackle 4.
Something they've been working hard on. Their attack's been firing, but they're trying to get the defence right as well. So far, so good in this one. Lockie Turnbull, long ball now to Fuller. Fuller goes long as well. To Lockwood. Lockwood flirting with the touchline. He thinks he got that down. He definitely did not. It's knocked on. That's great defence by the Pride. But again, that right side of the Burleigh Bears just not quite making the right decisions in the wet.
Big tackle there from Berkey out on the wing. Got tossed out there through injury and stood up.
So we have confirmation that Rothery has gone off for the Pride, an early injury. You just mentioned it there. Damien Burke is out on the wing. He's missed a fix at the moment, and Tasman McRobbie has moved to left centre for the
Hook his
Pride.
arms over the top. Second
Is he
and last
claiming
forward
that?
altogether.
I think he was.
Well, no video ref. You may as well.
Oh, I
give
mean,
it a
you
go.
may. That's 100%
Line all
right.
the way.
You never know, you laugh.
Line arms all the way, mate. Thanks.
We've seen some
Ball in,
clangers
2 hands.
before.
Out.
Draconia feeds the scrum. It's out to Bevan. And strong defence from Burleigh on this one. Slow ball movement, which meant they could get up quickly.
Oh, go one.
Pride just a couple of metres out from their own line. Tom McGrath, Mr. Reliable, takes it up to the 15-metre line.
Go 2. Markers are good.
Huey Rama went into dummy half there. In looking for some work. I think that's the try scorer in Namabai.
Mark is square. Hold. Go 3.
Is so. Comes short side this time. McGrath decides to hold on to it. And on in the 14, I believe, is Zane Knowles.
11, you're offside.
First chance I've had to see him live.
Lost legs.
Finiasa's first hit up since coming on as well.
And so we do have McRobbie out on left centre there.
Outside. Right side.
Bo Berg showing off his kicking skills, we'll call him. That left foot hoof. And Campbell, he's very elusive, the Burleigh fullback. Eventually taken down by Lukey with a bit of help there from, I think, McRobbie.
Take a step back for me. Keep going.
Just stepped over the mark, did Campbell.
15.
He looks about
Gets
13
closer.
years old.
Here
Good
we
player,
are.
though.
Pride, here. I've got to tell you, mate. Pride,
Just
I need
see
you to take a
Tom
step back for me,
McGrath
gents.
getting some bandages in the back plane.
Here.
What's going on here? Just let them
Let's go,
play.
Markers in. Play the ball, mate. Let's go. Tackle 1.
Burleigh a chance to start up again. Luke Maiden.
Interesting little passage.
Together,
wasn't it?
Pride. Markers. Hold.
He'll play
Go
the
to
ball.
9, offside.
35 metres out.
2.
And a couple of changes
Now,
for
mate.
Burleigh as well. We'll get to them in a
Off
second.
the ball, 11. Hold here. Wait.
Number 16
Go 3. Markers realign.
is Andrew Scalble.
Offload.
Ricky Maiden again for his second hit up in the set. A
Hold.
good motor for a big boy. He started this one well.
Run 10. Kick.
And they kick early here. An opportunity.
Is he
Jaconia
offside?
tracking back. He decides to
Okay,
leave it.
keep
Namabai
going.
picks it up.
In touch.
Well, I think he was in two
Take it
minds
into
there,
touch by
Namabai. He
Pride,
hits the
Will.
ground, but you'd
Okay,
rather him
so
be
it's
safe and go to
Pride,
touch
so it's a
there than
Burleigh
Burleigh
scrum.
pick up the ball and score. So you can't
Sorry,
really
mate,
be
still
too
got
upset
lag.
with him.
It's all right.
Yep, you just got to back yourself on your defence here, and
Scrum in here.
we've got 8 minutes to go.
So Fanongaloa is off for the Pride, as is Flegler, who scored. And Rothery, good news, the winger that went off injured
Hookers,
earlier.
that's
I'm
good
not
start.
sure if he
Arms
will
over
be
the
back
top.
or not tonight, but he's at least sitting on the
Second
bench.
row.
He's not up the tunnel, so
Lock
hopefully he's
together.
okay, and hopefully we see
Come right
him
in,
again
heads
a
all
little
the
bit
way
later
in.
on.
Really good
But
work,
for now, we
gents.
do have
Just need
Damien
to swap
Burke
these two
out on
things.
that left
Oh, sorry,
wing.
no, there's your outside foot. No,
And you
you
would
had it
think
right.
Burleigh would
Thanks.
keep on
All
trying
the
to
way,
pepper
14,
that
mate. Don't
side.
drift out. Lock. Thanks, mate.
These scrums
Ball
are
in
hard
there,
to
7.
form tonight, aren't they?
Out.
He's very particular.
Here's this referee. Fuller comes short this time. Good footwork by Tristan Powell. He's taken 5 metres out from the pride line. They need some help on the left. Damien Burke trying to call some troops over. They decided to go the other way though, Burleigh. And strong defence from the pride. Lachlan Sheldon has taken centimetres out. Tuapiki, great footwork. He made that look so easy. It wasn't. To step off your left like that in the wet. Fantastic work by the young halfback. And we have a ball game here, let me tell you. 10 points all, 7 minutes to go in the first half. Talk us through that one, Rowan.
Oh, great little run from Tuapiki there.
Bang.
Just off the right.
He made that look very easy, didn't he?
Off the left even.
Yeah, left is the opposite to the right. That's all right, we'll get there.
Thanks, mate.
As he's catching the ball too, very difficult to do.
And when it is wet and we harp on about it, but it makes it so much easier. Even those basic skills, passing, kicking, running, that's hard enough. But when you're stepping on the go as you're trying to catch it, that's fantastic work.
On those ones.
Jaden Campbell lining up this conversion.
Good because that's a really
no kick a gimme, but you would think he should be able to throw this one over, and it may give the Bears the first lead of this game.
But in terms of that, lads, let's keep going.
Been a good one to start. This is the most that we've seen probably since round 1 at home that we've seen the Pride challenged here in Cairns. As Campbell does bunt that one over. It's 12 points to 10. 6 minutes to go. First half. Burleigh Park, that main game, kicking off at 6 p.m. Well, if you want to sit back and watch the stream all night, go for your life. It is made possible by C-Swift, keeping Northern Australia connected. They do a fantastic job. If you're thinking of shipping cargo in the north end of Australia, be it to NT, up to the Torres Strait, Bamagal, wherever it may be, these are your guys to go through. Check them out on Facebook or their website for more details. As Marcus Nona looks like he's come onto the bench for the Pride. He'll get a breather. He's pretty strong to start this one.
Great little stint there. Well, not little, quite a large one.
Yeah, almost half an hour he did out there for a front rower. That is
stay behind that ball, eh, lads?
Fantastic effort. Colt Salmon yet to see any action yet. For the Pride, we do still have a nasty rumour we want to address about Colt Salmon at some stage. We'll wait till he's on the field so he gets his time to shine. We're back underway.
Catch.
With a few minutes left here in the first half.
Line's on the ball.
Burleigh Park, the under-20s. Been a cracker so far. Top of the table clash. Pride v Bears.
Shoulder. 17.
And Lockie Sheldon almost been best on ground for me from the Bears. Takes it forward. Hands it off to Luke Maiden this time. Getting pretty quick play the balls now, Burleigh. Just a little bit of momentum. They decide to kick early from inside their own 40. Jaconia tracking back. And he's done really well to keep that in, but he's going to have to dive on this one. Brandon Jaconia has made 2 plays in this game now that I think have saved, well, at least 8 points if they're converted. Let's say 12. Let's remember them. He's fantastic in attack, is young Brandon, but the work he's doing in defence today, top notch. And Collard there out of dummy half is, I think, Connor Rothery, who went off injured earlier, so it's nice to see him back out there. Should mean that the back lines are back to normal. Damien Burke back into the centres. A tricky little move there by Josh Calciali and Jaconia. I think about 8 metres off it. Hui Rama at dummy half. Pass a bit high for Namabai. Does well, though. And McRobbie, who is out in the left centre to cover some injuries, is back into the middle of the park where he prefers.
Inside.
It's a lovely little stab, that kick. And nice hands again. Jaden Campbell v Brandon Jaconia so far has been a highlight of this game. Both young fullbacks, tremendous talents. He's wrapped up there, though, by Berg and Bevan. And the number 4, who is Alan Lockwood, takes it forward. 35 metres out from the Burleigh line. 3.5 to go in the first half. 2-point lead to Burleigh as they take the ball up towards halfway.
Go 3, 1 marker.
McGrath gets out of the way in that one. He's offside. And number 14 for on now Burleigh is Cameron Brown, doing the work in the dummy half.
Go 4.
Good feet. He's a quick little fellow too. More changes means Daniel Shannon is on too for Burleigh. He's just taken the ball forward with the head strapped up. Fuller now decides to kick.
Good to the left.
It's a good one to the air. Namabai, oh, he leaps. I'm not sure he needed to. It's been knocked on, but I think offside is the ruling. I think he might have copped a knock there as McRobbie was getting up to play that one. Be a shame to see him go off because he's been really good to start this, Sheldon. As much as I'm biased, this is Pride TV. Can't deny a talent when you see one.
Where you are now, mate, so you can put it down there.
Oh, it might have been a head clash. It was
Tackle two,
too, with his
fellas.
own teammate, with Andrew Scalgall. He's a bit sore and sorry, and a right idea to take him off there, because he's not well at all, is poor Lockie Sheldon.
Yeah, no rush, mate. We got plenty of
He'll
time
be
here.
looked after.
16, can you just take a step in for me? That's
Bit
where
of
the
friendly
second marker will be.
fire,
17, take a step in as well,
he's
mate.
really sick and
Thanks,
sorry
gents.
coming off. I would
Right,
say that's the
you can
last
pick
we'll
it up
see
now,
of
mate, but
Lachlan
we've still got a
Sheldon
bit of time.
today. As he's
Yeah.
assisted from the field.
All
Gets
good, mate.
a warm
Thanks, mate.
applause from both sets of fans here tonight at Burleigh Park. The crowd is starting to build up.
Good there, Tyler.
Of course, our main
good,
game
Will.
tonight, the
Okay.
ISC,
Tackle two.
is on at 6 p.m.
Hold, go 2.
And Lockie's definitely seeing stars. Primed with a chance to take the ball over the halfway line. Knowles looks pretty good. Hui Rama goes short. That's a great run.
Tyler off the ball! Hold.
All over the
Go
tackle.
forward.
I think that's Tom McGrath that's got the head bandaged up. Everyone's injured here tonight. Jaconia tries a bit of footwork, not sure where to go.
Light tackle, Burleigh,
Decides to
move.
stay away from the touch
Hold
line,
up.
which is probably the wisest decision.
five.
Damien Burke into dummy
Up
half.
right.
Goes out to Bevan, who
Hold
will
up.
hoist it to the
Left
sky.
is
A bit of a
off.
shank, though.
Fine,
Where's it
okay.
going to bounce, and what's it going to do? Well, they're the kind of
Out-
kicks that
out
can
to the
go
20.
anywhere. This one is go on to the racing track, and want them to keep going after that. It'll be a 7-tackle set
In
for
the
Burleigh,
middle.
which means they might have one last opportunity in this
Go.
half. Just over a minute to go. 12-10 they lead over the Pride.
9, stand
Top of the
up.
table clash,
Get in
which has
hold.
lived up to
Go
everything it
0.
promised to be thus far. Here's the man mountain,
Nine,
Jackson
release.
Paulo.
Marcus. Go on 9 offside.
He's a big,
One.
big kid. Brown from
Runs
dummy
10.
half goes out there to
Stand
Lockwood.
out.
So the outside backs from Burleigh doing
Go
some
two.
good work. Already got them up over halfway. That pass questionable at best.
Off the line.
Allowed to go
Go
though,
three.
and they're 40 metres out. This is Brown again from dummy half. Makes some easy meters. The ball
Still
was a
going.
good one too. They've got a real chance here, Burleigh, to score. And the Pride will be desperate to hang on
Backwards.
before half time.
Still
Picked
free.
up by their halfback Tuapiki, who scored. And he will just die with the ball, take the safe
Go
option.
four.
Paulo into dummy
Left is
half
short.
now.
12, you're
Brown.
offside.
Off now to
mate.
Scalgall, who did have that head
Last
clash with
tackle,
Lockie
give him
Sheldon
space.
earlier.
Hold here.
Sheldon definitely coming off worse for wear
Go.
with that one.
Last tackle.
Brown comes out to the right side. They're thinking
You're
drop
well
goal,
touched.
which I'm going to say has falconed
Okay.
off Mr. Phineas's head and gone on to Rothery, which is some of the best football I've seen today. Jeez, it was a
Here,
shank,
hold.
and I'm not sure you're 2
Hold.
points
Go
up.
1.
Do you not hoist the ball to the air there? The rest is history, though. Lukey takes
got
it
it.
forward in what will be the last hit up of the half.
Hold.
And it is half-time here at Barlow Park. The Northern Pride
It's oranges, boys. Go have a drink.
got the work to do in the second half, but it's a tight one. The Burleigh Bears leading 12 points to 10. Try scores for the Pride. Flegler scored early. The Namabai off an error from the Burleigh boys. And then Tuapiki did score up for Burleigh, who look a pretty well-drilled football side. Very evenly matched in wet conditions here tonight. So far, it has been an absolute corker. We'll send Rowan down in a second to catch up with one of the boys before they run away into the sheds. 12 points to 10. 35 minutes to go. Second half is promising to be a belter. Some tired-looking bodies out there, I think.
Thanks, miss.
That main game not far away either. Make sure you get down for that. And I think we've got Rowan down on the field now.
Tough first half. Mate, how are you finding it? First game for the 20s.
No, it is very physical first game, as you said.
Thanks.
Played 18s, and this is definitely a bit more physical than 18s.
And hoping to follow in the footsteps of the brother or making a name for yourself?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind making an NRL, but whatever happens, happens.
Mate, you looked very tough out there in the first stint, running it up, quite up the middle really hard. What do you think the message is for the second half?
There's a few things that we need to work on in the second half. Just like getting up off the line, holding the ball a bit better and stuff. But yeah, just got to stick to it and hopefully get out on top.
Too easy, mate. Well, I better let you get in there and get with the boys. Thanks for that. And back up to you in the studio, Elliot.
Thanks, Rowan. The smiling assassin, Mr. Flegler, very happy with his work so far. Half-time here in the under-20s. The Burleigh Bears 12 lead your Northern Pride 10. We'll have a quick word from our sponsors and come back with the second half after this.
Today's best music.
Back live here at Burleigh Park, just about geared up for the second half in the under-20s clash. It is the Burleigh Bears leading your Northern Pride 12 points to 10. A top-of-the-table clash that so far has lived up to all the hype. My name's Elliot Lovejoy. With me, Rowan Sparks from the Cairns Post. Wet weather conditions, but so far so good in terms of it's been a great game to watch.
Definitely. There's been some real good attacking stuff and good defence as well.
A couple of honourable mentions. Ryan Flegler, who just gave the greatest interview of all time at halftime with Rowan. If you're not aware, he's the younger brother of Thomas, who's been playing for the Brisbane Broncos, who is an outstanding talent. Ryan looks like he could one day be every bit as good.
Definitely. And I was speaking to under-20s coach Dave Scott. He said he's different to Tom, obviously. He's not a 6'4" Terminator, was his words. But he still looked very strong up the middle there, didn't he?
Yeah, the boys that have come up from the under-18 system have not looked out of place. Namabai, the young winger, has already scored himself a meat pie. Helam Lukey, who is the captain of the under-18s, is an extraordinary talent. He's been so far so good, pretty solid tonight. One guy that maybe just looks like he's trying to get match fit and get himself back into thing is Hui Rama, the number 6. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Bevan, as the halfback and such a good halfback, is controlling things. But you'd just like to see Hui Rama just get his hands on the ball maybe a little bit more.
I think so, yeah. And I think it's just about getting his confidence coming back from injury. He looked good in patches against Mackay, particularly when he came on and was running the ball a lot out of dummy half. So, different role for him tonight. I think he'll improve this second half.
Speaking about different roles, Damien Burke, who's played a lot of this season to start in 5'8". You've spoken in previous games about the fact that he was almost pinched to play AFL instead of league. Went out to the centres tonight, then with an injury to Rothery for a bit, he was out on the wing. He is playing that Mr. Fix-It role that we've seen Jack Murphy play for our ISC side. He
does look, he's got that winger build in that he's quite huge.
He reminds you of like a Daniel Tupou from the Roosters. He's that kind of build, isn't he?
You could just send some bombs out to that corner and
let him leap.
Let him leap.
Let the boy leap. Zane Knowles has come on. Looks like he's playing dummy half with Bowie Berg, who's moved into almost that lock position. And he's not a big boy, Berg, but I tell you what, he runs the ball hard.
Well, there's just dummy halves throughout the whole lineup. I mean, you've got Hui Rama, who I think likes to play that hooker role as first option. Mm-hmm. Bowie Berg. Flegler was the under-18s hooker, coming up to play lock and doing a great job there. Plus Knowlesy off the bench. They just love getting their hands on the ball, these boys.
They do, and let's take nothing away from Burleigh. They've been really good to start this one. They took the lead at the back end of that the first half, rather. They lead 12 points to 10. As your Northern Pride coming back on the field, that's an indication of how wet it's been up here in Cairns. That track, as they're coming back on, is saturated. And on the bench to start the second half, Fanongaloa. We have Marcus Nona, Mr. Flegler, and Colt Salmon, the Kiwi, yet to see any action. Said, are you going to bring back the cornrows haircut? Because it brought you a lot of luck. He said, we'll see. So instead he's going the man bun. So we'll be having a conversation after this one. Bitterly disappointed. Campbell just about to get things underway here for Burleigh, who will be running left to right for this second half.
Oh, let's go
Elusive,
again.
Quick
Behind the
fullback.
footy.
He's a good player.
Kick.
Here we go. Pride looking to stay at the top. Oh, not the start you want. And that has been knocked on. I think it might have gone backwards to start from Simon Bevan. And then Tasman McRobbie couldn't clean it up. And that is exactly what you don't want to start this one.
We're on the clock.
Just the greasy ball strikes again.
Just remember, mate, we're on the clock, hey? Don't dawdle, we're on the
set
clock.
under there, but
Just like a kick-off. Stay behind.
Just got away from him,
Make sure it's
didn't
on or behind the line,
sorry,
hey?
I think that was Hui Rama that put that one down.
Good.
I was going to say, you don't see Simon Bevan drop them ever. And Fuller takes the drop kick, hands it off to Scougal, who takes it forward, 35 metres out from the Pride line. Burleigh, the chance to go further ahead to start this one. Brown into dummy half. This is Daniel Shannon, who is another one of those man mountains. He is huge. He looks like something out of Game of Thrones. He's that big.
Hold.
Cameron Brown back into dummy half. They go this far side. And try score on the first half. Wrapped up this time. Taupiki. 10 metres out from the Pride line.
Go
A bit
three.
sore. Uncomfortable after he got up from that one.
17 off the
Stepanowski
ball.
is taken a couple of
Hold.
metres
Go
out.
forward.
Brown back into dummy half. Fuller now takes it just behind him. He's done well though, Brown. There's a real chance here. Tremendous defence, though. However, Burleigh, I think... No, it's been dropped. I was going to say, Rothery's done really good work in defence. It was hard to see the angle we had, whether the Burleigh player had got the ball down. Rothery hit, stuck, held him up, and then I think the ball must have popped out.
In the middle.
That was great stuff from Rothery. To tell you how good it was, I thought that was Tom McGrath making that tackle.
Oh, you could... No, it was definitely Rothery, wasn't it?
No, it definitely was.
McGrath's got the head taped up tonight. He might be hiding that rough haircut. I don't know. Finiasa, who copped a falcon off a field goal attempt to end that first half, is showing no signs of concussion. He's good to go. In fact, he's up and fighting. McRobbie, earlier dropped to start the half. No harm done, though. And he rumbles forward. Knowles heads out. Bevan now. Lukey. Seems to always break off that first tackle. He's an awkward-looking customer, Lukey, because he is so tall and skinny, but he's strong too for his size. Tom
We need to
McGrath.
get the tape measure out on Helam and also Damien Burke. I want to see what these guys are pushing.
We need to put them back-to-back, see who's taller. Knowles, a bit of a nothing kick, really. Would have liked to see him give it to one of his halves there. Charlie up in defence. That's fantastic with the help of Bo Berg.
Hold. Go one.
And Burleigh will have to work the ball away from well inside their own half.
Hit Pride.
Taking their own tackle too, about 20 metres out. Brown now. Solid contact from Lukey. Not going anywhere, son.
Hold. Go three.
Brown again. Fuller decides to kick early and has Jaconia chasing his tail. Picks it up on the bounce though. Jeez, he covers a lot of ground as Brown and Jaconia.
Pretty
That's
incredible
slipped
to
up
watch,
high, and it's been given.
High contact, Tyler.
That's 3 massive plays from Jaconia now. Remember the try saver down this end earlier. It's probably another one that he cleaned up where Burleigh looked like they were going to score and then working their way out of trouble just as Burleigh trying to get some momentum there earns his team another penalty. For me, he's just about been the Pride's best player so far.
Real live wire at the back, isn't he?
He's good to watch. Ball Boys tried to take that on the track. Has gone, you know what, he's okay. He's up and running.
He's off. Good on you, champ.
It's pretty much my junior career summed up in one movement.
Go one.
It's outstanding. I hope we got footage of that somewhere. Bevan goes short. McRobbie manages to hang on to it. No, he doesn't. It looks like he's lost the ball in the tackle into one of the Burleigh players. He's not happy about it. He's saying he regathered it afterwards and not what the doctor ordered. Oh, here we go. We have got footage of this, have we? Almost. Oh, when the ball's taken there. To be fair, I think the ball kid might have caught it still, but he did
when you're playing that ball,
just lost a bit of traction in his shoes and fell down on the running track.
Over like that. I understand that, but you're surrendering as well. Heads down. They lost into the Burleigh player, mate. Heads down. You need a lock, Pride. Just wait, gents. We're waiting on a player. Keep your heads down. Thanks, mate. Lock it all down for me. Good
Election
work.
day.
There's your tunnel,
Hammered
mate.
by all the different parties. This is why you should vote for us.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
That's
17 democracy sausages. There's a chance short side for Burleigh off the scrum. Paulo will play it just short of halfway. Brown into dummy half. Goes to big Daniel Shannon. He takes it forward. There's big forwards on that bench.
Marquez, go two.
Oh, just held on. Sepanowski. And a lovely tackle. Zane Knowles, I like what I've seen from him so far since coming off the bench. Fuller now, who's controlled a lot of what they've done in attack. And saying that, he's driven back about 7 or 8 metres by Aluki and Finiasa.
On four.
big combo there, them two.
Tristan Powell, nice run from the Burleigh second rower. Gets a quick play the ball as well. Brown, referee, you've got to let them play on there.
12, you need to be careful about how you come at me like that.
They're a real opportunity for Burleigh.
Not sure what.
I think it was the push. It was the push after the play the ball was given.
Keen to blow it. There could have been numbers out there.
He's a very busy referee. Let's give him that much.
Wait there. Let me get out of your way. Yeah, gents, when you're ready, mate.
It's a tough job they got.
Contact.
Can't get it right every time. I think he did get that one right though. Daniel Shannon will play the ball a couple of metres out. Burleigh an opportunity here. The Pride must stand up in defence. Brown looked a hit of a knock on there. They say play on, and a great ball from Tuapiki, and it's been dropped over the line by Jackson Paulo. And I think it was played at there by Josh Tal Charlie, who's made a tremendous tackle when it looked all hope was lost.
Unlucky again, Paulo. The second one he's sort of put down close to the line.
Maybe we'll get another look at that one in a second. But Josh Tal Charlie's done really well there.
Still going.
one of the better defensive centres we've seen in this 20 system. He's the co-captain.
Actually,
Oh, Rotheric's been flung to the ground there.
gonna take measure on him too, I reckon. With that little
Josh Tell.
that little
Bit of hair on top.
he could eclipse both of the others.
He looks like the evil villain in Black Panther. You seen that movie?
I've
Yes.
told you
Same
a number
haircut.
of times now, you need
So
to
it's a
stand up and play the ball
penalty
properly. You are
It's a penalty
surrendering and then not
to
rising
Burleigh
with the
here.
ball.
Here's another
It's
look at
not
that
quick, mate. It's a
tackle.
change of
Oh, it's
possession.
Josh
Simon,
Delchow.
I've said to him a couple of times now
Fantastic work.
that he needs to stand up, bring the ball with him.
I
What
didn't
he's
get from
doing
the
is
ref
just
there what that
lunging
penalty
forward at the
was.
defender, giving him no chance
Potentially
to
incorrect
clear
play
it,
the ball, I'm not
try and
sure.
play the ball. I've told him a number of times, mate, I can't do anything more.
Bevan not real pleased with it, I can tell you that much.
But he's not coming all the way up, Simon. He's just diving forward.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but anyway, it's a Burleigh ball at the end of it.
The explanation there.
Thanks, Josh.
Another chance for Burleigh. Pride need to hang on here. They've had very little ball to start this second half. We're about 8 minutes into it.
Wait for the tap.
And still the Bears up by 2, and they have a chance to attack once more.
We saw the Pride sort of have this start in the first half, and the Bears weathered the storm early. But
Don't lock him in, ball
so
carrier.
now it's the Pride's turn.
You're locked in, just
Solid
play the
defence
ball.
from
Just
Lukey
play the
there, who
ball.
just
One.
backslammed Tristan Powell.
Outside.
They
No
decide to
obstruction.
come out to their
No
halfback who
obstruction.
looks
Play on.
elusive
On
every
one.
time he touches it. Speaking of elusive, this man is very quick and very talented. Jaden Campbell has taken a couple of metres out.
Go to.
Chance if they went left here. They
Play
decided
on.
to come out to the right.
On two.
Fuller allowed to play on. He is not
Play on.
wrapped up. The
Still
Pride can't hang on to their tackles at the moment. He's a real opportunity to crash over. He's broken through about 4 or 5 here and then dropped the ball over the line. We did everything but score there.
Relax. Relax.
Did Shalyn Fuller.
Jeez.
A bit sore after that too.
Just pass a message. I
It
got
was
no
a good bit of work though from the 5'8".
You might as well give it after,
We're going to
after
knock
that sort
on
of
short
effort,
of the
I
line.
think.
We're going out for the scrum.
Oh, no, maybe not.
What are you talking about?
Is he right?
You've got to get it down.
I think that's
Thought
it.
that was one. All right, let's
It's not
go.
gridiron.
Scrum here. Yeah, mate.
But he did break through a whole bunch of them. He's claiming he was hit high there by Lukey in the tackle. Looked like he got him over the shoulder to me. But I have only got one eye. As the scrum will be fed 10 metres out from the
Yep,
Pride
back
line
down for me,
here.
gents.
It goes without saying, and I hope I don't jinx it, but
Really
geez,
good
need to
work,
hang on
gents.
the ball here,
Just stay
complete the
there
set.
for me, mate. Time back on.
Get your 30 metres, 40 metres upfield, complete the set.
Play on him.
Oh.
17
Rowan's
up.
back.
Wowee.
Get square.
This is why I don't say
Oh,
things.
go one.
Yeah.
This time. After Namabai gave us both
Strong.
just a minor heart attack. Burleigh looking to aim him up in
Go to.
defence. Zane Knowles this time at dummy half. Goes to McRobbie, who does his job as he so often does.
Here and
Makes about 8 or
hold.
9 metres
Hold. Go
upfield.
three.
Knowles comes out to this near side again. Great run, Tom McGrath. Just footwork at the line there allows him to pick up 10 or 11 metres. That's
Go
got to go
for.
close to a penalty. Finiasa, oh, the goose step.
Still got it. Still got it. Still got it.
Kalen Pogoresk, he's managed to
Still
hold onto
going.
the ball as well, which looked
Still
like it
going.
wanted to
Play
pop
on.
out. That is
How
a
do
great
they
run.
do that without breaking their
Go
ankles? I
last.
I stepped once when I was playing
Outside.
footy
Right side in
in
front,
the bedroom
right
against my
side in
younger
front.
brother, and I
Kick us through,
snapped
they're all on.
just about everything in my ankle. So
don't.
talent from a big man.
No more steps after that.
No,
Release the grip.
no.
Here and
That was a sign.
hold. Go
Tapani
one.
plays the ball.
Mark the depth.
And Burleigh a chance to work it away from their own end
Stay
with
square.
Khan Perriera,
Mark is
who we've
in.
barely seen so far in this one.
Don't walk forward, mate.
As we
Take it
say
back.
that, he will be told to play the
Take a
ball
step
on the
back
mark.
for
I
me,
like that
please.
from the
Wait there now,
referee.
wait
Could have
there.
easily blown a
First
penalty
marker,
there. It's the
get
way that the
closer.
whistle
First
seems to go
marker,
sometimes, but says no,
Here,
mate.
Pride.
You crept
Clear.
over, go back, play the ball
Tackle
properly,
two.
and we'll play on.
Go.
See, I don't always say nasty things about referees.
Play
That's a nice
on.
run.
Two.
Lockwood
Keep an eye on the bloke
makes
on the
about 22, 23 metres
I know, mate.
downfield. Eventually is wrapped up. Took 3 Pride plays to do
Okay.
it.
Tackle three.
And we've got
Pride
time
have
off because there's an
called for
injured
timeout.
Pride player in
Tackle
back
three,
play. I can't quite
But
see
Pride
who
have
it
asked
is
for
yet.
timeout. Guy, you're on the mark there. Make sure they don't go away.
Is that Damien Burke down there? He's a bit sore on the melon, I think. I don't know if he's
Okay,
had a... It
cool.
is Damien
Yeah.
Burke.
Just relax.
He's
Just
not
relax.
well. I think trainer may recommend that he just comes off for
Trainer.
a quick breather here. I didn't see
Hey,
the
guy.
contact. I just saw him down in back play.
Guy.
But he's definitely holding
No
that head,
corner
and he's
play.
going to
Taking
go
him
off, I
offside.
think, to have a
Okay.
quick test
Trainer,
done.
Just remember,
He's not
if
happy
he
about
rejoins
it.
the line, we go back. Okay, he's going
Safety
off.
first, my friend,
Doesn't matter.
Mr. Burke.
No,
Did you
because
catch
he goes
that?
off, mate.
No, I don't. Not sure what happened.
Tackle
Just
3,
maybe
gents. Thanks,
in the
guy.
wrong
Just
position.
wait there, mate. Hey.
It was a bit
Tackle
like
count doesn't restart,
Lockie
it's just
Sheldon
an
in
injured
that
player.
first half. He doesn't look quite as sore and sorry as
Three,
him,
mate.
but geez, he was not well when he went up the tunnel. We're not going to see him again
No,
tonight.
no, mate. We're in no rush here. Okay.
As,
have they brought a
onto the
bloke on
field
for him yet?
in replacement
Okay,
of Damien Burke, it will be the Kiwi. Colt Salmon is on, and it's time for a Colt
I'll wait till
Salmon
he rejoins
story
the
time. That man there lives with Connor Jones from the ISC side, as did Jonah Rameka, who plays the under-20s. Well, Bugden lives there too. Mizumichi lives there. We'll get to it in a second. Unfortunately, it looks like danger times here for the Pride, and Fuller has scored under the sticks. After a breather, the defensive line wasn't set, and that's almost inexcusable.
Just split them right open. Fuller, and he's looked like doing it on a couple of occasions. Went all the way that time.
He's a good player, young Fuller, but I'm not sure what was happening in defence there. Geez, how's the footwork yet? Very tough. You can't be too upset with Roldery not stopping him there. Salmon chases in despair, and it's now a 6-point lead to Burleigh. More importantly, the kick's right in front. So it's going to make this one pretty tough when they convert it. I almost feel bad telling this story now, but Colt Salmon's story time, I should probably finish it. So Connor Jones, him and a few others all lived together, and it was young Colt's time to pay the power
Grab it
bill.
off you, mate. Thank you.
The boys, I think, live out at White Rock, and the other night, the power gets turned off because Jonah and Colt forgot to pay it. So the boys had a romantic evening, the 5 of them living together with candles lit until they got the power switch back on.
There you go. How good's that?
Maybe that's why he's benched tonight, Colt.
Yes.
Kick is converted by Jaden Campbell, and all the work to do is for the Northern Pride under-20s now, who are staring down the barrel of 2 losses on the trot. Unless they can get their way back into this one. Still plenty of time, 23 minutes to go.
Just to be fair, I mean, they're under 20s. I'm 28. I still can't get on top of build.
100%. I'm the same.
It's
You
it's
look
a
at your
challenge.
account like, what's that? Why has that come out now? Didn't I pay that
Just
last
like a
week?
kick off, gents. Stay behind.
I'm bad with Foxtel. I never remember to pay that. Halfway through a footy game, he gets cut off.
Ah,
Kick. Oh,
Knowles has gone the Kyle Felt-esque kickoff.
catch.
It's a tough one to take. Fuller makes it look easy, though. And Luke Maiden, who's back on for Burleigh, takes it up towards the 20-metre line.
Together, Pride.
He's another one of those huge
Markers in.
humans. We're still waiting for a collision between him and
Go on.
Fanongaloa when he comes back on. Godzilla versus whatever is as big as
Together
Godzilla.
again. Markers in.
grab onto
Hold.
something
Go
because
to.
the earth's going to shake when it happens.
100%. So Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan come
Hands
to
away,
blows.
9. Hold. Wait.
Burleigh
Go
working
3.
the ball forward. Brown back into dummy half. Goes to his halfback. And in the number 15 is Thomas Burkers.
Lock in.
First
Go
I've seen
6
him tonight. He
offside.
plays the ball just short of
One now.
halfway.
4.
Brown decides to go the chip and
Well,
chase.
kick it through. He's onside.
He's got Campbell shooting through, who picks it up.
Fast tackle,
Really nice
Wilson.
hands, but Charlie managed to hang on in the tackle. You can imagine that'll be a penalty to Burleigh. And Brown looks to go again. He's dangerous out of dummy half, coming off the bench.
He's looked very good. Really got Burleigh on the front
Go,
foot in
hang
the
on,
second half.
Let me get
Jaden
you gotta
Campbell
tell
is
me.
an outstanding
You're right.
talent, their fullback.
Go. What's contact?
It'll be Maiden taking it forward.
Up now, 9. Line and a
Well,
hold.
this
Go
is a
1.
set that the Pride must survive. Fuller uses his feet again, comes back inside. They've crashed over the line, but held up over it is Scougel. Some good
Well done.
defence
Over the
underneath
line.
by Berg, Salmond, and I think Knowles is under there
Marker,
too.
please. On the line here.
All the momentum though with Burleigh.
Hold.
So
Go
they're
2.
trying to close this one out. To a peak, he goes himself. Oh, great tackle.
Give space.
Bo Berg has just hung on there. It looked like a certain 4 points to Burleigh. Well, there's a push off the ball there, which you would think is going to have to be a penalty to the Pride because he wasn't allowed to make the tackle.
You're not the captain.
However, I think the try's been given.
Clock's on.
Well, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Again,
you are, mate.
being a referee is not an easy job, but when you're right there, how do you miss that?
Once or twice in the last
He's
5 minutes
right there.
between
He is right
Rowan,
there.
he's right there.
a little long.
Didn't
That's a
realise he was that
huge
close.
call.
Probably only half a step,
Okay.
Wow.
but it just going down that track.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, enough said about that one. Jaden Campbell lines up the kick. This put it beyond 2 converted tries. A mountain to climb now for the Pride.
Yep.
It's been converted, and it is 24 points to 10. The Burleigh Bears over the Northern
Simon.
Pride, the under-20s. have not been beaten at home yet this year. But however, at this stage of this game, things are not looking good.
If they've got a question,
Yes,
just come
very
to me.
tough call there, and
I don't need
very
to
hard to
comment
get
away
up after something like that. If you're the Pride, but just see how the boys
Behind the
go
ball.
to
Stay
close
behind
out
it here,
this.
gents.
20 minutes to go, so
There's a few of them, mate.
Berg's just come onto the bench after that one. He was a bit fiery after that decision. He's played a good game so far. As Fuller hands that off to Maiden. He is taken 20 metres out from the line, but just short of it.
Hold. Wait, go one.
Number 12 is Tristan Powell. Tries to get it up just short of the 30-metre line of the Burleigh line. There's a knock on there,
16.
but a penalty's been awarded. They're saying there was a hand in the tackle. It might have been a 50-50 that's gone Burleigh's way. Unfortunately, at this stage, nothing going the way of the Northern Pride, but as they say, you need to make your own luck, and they need to stop here in defence, and they need to work their way back into this one, because
Wait for the foot.
Burleigh have all the momentum at this stage. Again, it's Powell taking the ball, and he gets it over the 40-metre line of the Pride. Flegler is back on for the Pride, as is Marcus Nona. They've decided to make a couple of changes. Fuller takes the ball to the line. A lovely ball at the back to Tuapiki.
He's through the line here.
McGrath attempts to wrap him up. He is so elusive. Both the halves are for this Burleigh side. They have fantastic footwork at the line. Brown, who's been one of the best players out there. Campbell tipped on in the wet. That's a very risky play. It hasn't come off for them. And I believe it will be a Pride scrum.
they had the overlap there, just couldn't get the ball out.
The tap-on's beautiful, don't get me wrong. And it looks good, but again, in these conditions, it's pretty hard to hang on to it.
Let's sort it out. We're still a man
Not
short. We need
convinced
one
the
more.
tap-on didn't
Let's
go forward
Burleigh.
anyway, but it's a decision for another day. As is the
Good.
penalty
Right,
that
you
wasn't
ready?
blown on
16,
Bo
let's
Berg.
start forming up.
Jeez, we'll be saving the footage of that one. That was a stinker.
Let's go, mate. Come on. 2 hands, mate, and you're in. Out.
And a scrum for the Pride. They go 2 passes wide. It's a good run from McRobbie, actually. He gets it up to the 30-metre line. That's a penalty.
Handball. You can't come up with your
Here we
hand
go.
on it.
That could be the momentum change you need. A good run. Then the penalty. Bevan is a good touch finder here. Should get us up near halfway, and the Pride will have an opportunity. Still plenty of time to go. 17 minutes left. 14 points the difference. Bevan does get us up just past the halfway line.
Yep, we're on it here. Wait for the
Hold the
forward,
ball.
wait for the
Couple of
forward, don't creep
settlers.
forward.
And there'll be a real chance to attack. Knowles with the tap. Lukey up to the 40-metre line and beyond.
Together! Marcus! Go one.
Holding in the tackle a long time. This Bears defence.
Play on.
Oh,
Still one.
Rothery just hangs onto that one. To be fair to him, there's a pass behind him. He gets up and goes because the contact was not enough. Well, that's high. Slapped around the... No, nothing. We're letting that one go, apparently. Knowles at dummy half after Rothery plays it. He was basically knocked out by JBL clothesline from hell. They go short. Tom McGrath.
Love it.
7, release! Try line, 1 foot!
One of the great
Go, three.
WWF wrestlers. Played the bad guy perfectly. Colt Salmon now. The Kiwi looking for a meat pie. 5 metres out.
Line and hold.
Knowles back into dummy half now. Bevan goes out to Lukey. Pretty good defence though from Burleigh. They're aiming up here on their own line. And that will be the last. What will they come up with? We go short side. The kick looks deep. I'm not convinced it wasn't touched.
Keep an eye on this guy.
They're saying no touch by Burleigh. It'll be back to the 20 for a 7 metre set. Short side play on the last. I don't know that was the right one there.
3-0.
No.
It's offload.
You're still hung up on JBL, aren't you? Yeah.
Here. Hold. 0.
Knowles, yeah, just getting out of dummy half.
Up
Maybe
now,
the 6 or the
16.
7 had to demand that one. I'm not
Go
sure.
1.
Sepanowski takes it over halfway for Burleigh.
Hold. Go 2. 1
Knowles
marker.
falls over the tackle. I swear Luke Maiden has gotten bigger just in this game alone
Still
for
2.
Burleigh. He's a man mountain.
40, let go!
Good tackle there from Knowles.
Hold. Go
He's
for
been
it,
a bright
Daniel,
light today off the
outside.
bench, saying Knowles. He looks a really good player. But
Outside.
geez, they've got some good options in
through
dummy
to
half
the
for these
line.
under-20s. Daniel Lazarus too, when he's around, he's a good player. It's a massive hit.
Stand square.
Tristan Powell and
Hip
Rothery.
rider,
Well,
Burleigh.
hang on to that.
Go 1.
There's not much of Connor Rothery's there.
No. I think he's gone back to fullback. Is that right?
Tyler, clear it!
Jaconia out on the
Hold.
wing.
Go 2.
We'll have to
Tyler,
have a look when they
offside.
set up an attack in a second. I didn't notice it
Now, mate.
before.
Off
Just
the
tell
ball.
Charlie.
Wait.
will play the ball. Meters hard to come by here for the Pride. They need a spark. Is it through Namabai? He's takes it about 10, 11 metres forward. 40 metres out from his own line. Knowles asking which way to go. McGrath puts his hand up. Tries to fend off a couple. Makes another 10 metres. Chance for maybe half an attacking kick here.
Nothing late.
And Bevan does go to the sky. Oh, that is a torpedo. Good luck to you. Well taken by, I think it's Perry that's gone back onto a wing position the second row. I don't know. I can't keep up with this guy.
What's he doing back there?
Just having a break. Well, 14 minutes to go. Time is going to be the enemy of the Pride very soon. Beyond 2 converted tries. Flegler a bit frustrated, caught up in that one. Colt Salmon called out at the last minute, pulled out of that tackle.
Confirm 3 for me.
And good footwork again. Jaden Campbell from Burleigh. Extremely elusive.
Go 4.
They'll have a chance to go there. Instead, though, they look for a settler. And I think that is going to be too deep. I think stuck in two minds there between going for an attacking kick and kicking for touch.
Players in front.
That was very Mitch Pearce-esque in Origin.
It's not quick. It's not quick. You've got players in front.
All good.
McRobbie looking to tap and go and get on with things here. The Pride look tired. You can see them all bunched up there on their own line.
Hold. Go 0.
A cramp out there as well.
He's got Jaconia at the back of his too. Well, he has been everywhere tonight. Can you blame him?
Hold. Go 1.
Berg back on after a very short rest. Maybe it was just to calm him down.
Off the ball 7.
Shy Bird was on the sideline helping out, so he might have said, you know what, just take a minute. Take a minute, Bo. Tom McGrath takes the ball forward, being one of our best tonight. He's every week. You know what you're going to get from Tommy. He runs hard, tackles hard, doesn't miss much. Salmons looking to make an impact off the bench. He's taken about 36 metres out from the Burleigh line. If the Pride are to get back into this one, they need it to start now. And unfortunately, it will not, as it looks like Salmon may have put that one down as he's getting up to play it. And he didn't need that.
Not what they wanted there, Burleigh. Very happy with that.
A bit clinical this second half. Hats off to you Bears supporters watching on Pride TV tonight. It's all thanks to C Swift, wherever you may be watching. If you're down in Burleigh in southeast Queensland, you're up here in Cairns, somewhere else in the far north, Bamigale, wherever it may be, a big g'day to you. We've seen a clinic so far from the Burleigh Bears, proving why they are right up the top of the table. And in fact, if they do win this game, they'll move into first tonight.
Ball in. Out. Pass, okay. Going around it.
Pride staring down 2 losses in a row, potentially.
12, you're short, 12.
Must note they have had wholesale changes to their team due to some injuries. Ewan Moore, of course, been called up to the ISC side. And there's a break here. Powell goes through, looks for the offloads, decided to go himself. You are right, Rowan. It looks like Rothery has moved into fullback. Could be due to the cramps Jaconia is struggling with. Makes a pretty good tackle. Fuller, you can't come up on him and not hit and stick. That's forward. That's about 3 metres forward, is it not?
Yep.
No, that's been given a try. Sorry, I thought the way they stopped and started, it must have been called a try straight away, but maybe a bit of showboating to go on at the end there. And the Bears score to make it a 28 to 10 lead, I should say. I'm sorry, and encouragement is always key, but that was a really poor miss from Tasmanic Robbie coming up on Fuller there. You can't do that.
Jaconia, I don't think he is 100%. That's why he's just been shifted.
Do you think that pass was forward?
It may have crept a touch forward.
Might have been back out of the hands. It's hard when you're not flat with it. Maybe it was okay. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Touchy seemed in a good spot, so
True.
We'll have to take his word.
The Bears 28 lead the Pride 10, who have not scored since that first half. 10 minutes to go. Unless Campbell misses this kick, you would think the game pretty much iced for Burleigh here.
Well, I guess it was the restart for the second half. We saw the Pride put it down. And they've just struggled to wrestle back any sort of momentum, I guess, in the second half. Bears have been superb, really, to go on with that.
I'll ask about a short kick-off here, lads.
It's been a tough old game for the Pride, and we haven't really seen the under-20s, well, we haven't seen the under-20s challenge like this at home until now.
10 minutes left.
So it'll be interesting to see how they can respond here for the last 10 minutes or so.
Time out.
No worries, mate.
Yeah,
Even if they
look
can't
for the
fight their
pride
way
shift
back into
ball,
this, they
make sure
could
in line with those
just
passes.
win the wrestle for the last bit, gain themselves a bit of confidence again. And that kick is missed, so you never know. 10 minutes to go, 3 converted tries. It has been done before.
Which way?
Yeah, I'll ask you, mate.
Can be done. And
Hey, mate,
his
you
pride
going
under
short or you going
20s, I'm sure they'll believe
long?
they
Go
can
long?
do
Okay,
it.
mate. Set up long, fellas.
Well, they've come back from similar scorelines, granted not in the same
Stay
time
long,
frame,
Tommy's
but
big and long.
as I said, as long as we can take some positives out of this one towards the end, let's not leak any more points, keep that for and against in a decent place. Rothery kicks off, it's well taken from Fuller, who's been one of the best tonight for Burleigh. They've had a few good players.
Move now, Simon!
That spine looks
Oh.
really good, especially
Go on.
Campbell, Fuller, and their halfback, Tuapiki.
17, release! Get
As
square!
they take the ball
Go
forward,
to 9
it's
offside,
Powell.
9!
Luke Maiden juggles, manages to hang on to it, is wrestled to the ground, 40 metres out from his own line.
Hold!
Lockie Turnbull back out there now after a great stint from Cameron Brown. And he goes himself through the middle, making some easy metres in this set, as they are Burleigh already. Campbell dummy half. Tuapiki
Good to the left!
looks for the corner, wants the sideline, and will get it. So a nice kick.
Thanks, Will.
Safe to say, I think the Burleigh halves have won this battle so far tonight.
They've been very good. I guess the new combination for the Pride. Bevan's been solid.
We just really, and we spoke about half-time, I have not seen Hui Rama barely in the second half at all. And I don't know if that is just easing your way back in after, and that could be part of the game plan, just to ease back into it, but
Good.
they've barely had a chance
Very good.
to
Come
get
together.
him the ball at all tonight.
Yep, good, we're all here, let's go.
I
Head
suppose
down.
he'll be better for the run, be better in the weeks to come, and in fairness to him, Burleigh have had, I would say, over 60% of possession in this second half.
Ball in 5. Out!
As the Pride try and work it away from their own line. 7 minutes to go in this one. It's the Bears 28, your Northern Pride 10. Northern Pride TV, all thanks to C-Swift, keeping Northern Australia connected. And geez, they do it well. Finiasa takes the ball over the 30-metre line.
Go to.
Bo Berg now goes to Vanongaloa, who's back on the field. Was held out of the game a long time. Would like to see him maybe 5-10 minutes earlier, but out he is now. To try and make an impact towards the back end. Bevan. There is that man, Hui Rama. Rothery
Now they've run 10.
to Charlie. And just some signs too, and we spoke about the back line with Stafford and Doherty missing through injury. Just trying to get to know each other, probably the best way to put it. A work in progress. Finiasa plays the ball. Berg from dummy half, gets up quickly, decides to kick. It's not a bad one. Doesn't have the intended result though, and Burleigh
Hold! Go 1, Marcus.
will have the ball a few metres out to start a new set. Making metres easily out of dummy half there is Paulo. However, he's put the ball down, so the Pride will have a chance here to score. You would think the game is gone, but some points towards the back end. As we said, for and against, especially at that top end of the table, are going to be so important come the back end of this season.
Absolutely. So Bears will actually leapfrog the Pride if they win. Is that right?
Yes, I think the Pride will shoot down to third after this, after some results earlier today. They started the day in first place, but that is the nature of how close the under-20s competition is. They'll shoot down to third. Still in a good position. Only 2 losses to their name, but 2 on the trot. So next week we're at home again, I do believe. And we're looking to get back on track.
I need your lock to be all
Still
the way
sporting
in.
that.
I'll tell you when to feed it, mate.
Yeah, after this game, a 7-2 win-loss record.
Don't know where that rule's come from, mate.
Nothing to turn your
Head
nose up
down,
at.
all the way.
Not at all.
Come
Still
back on.
fairly
Yep.
cemented in that
Out.
top 4.
Thanks, mate.
Berg at the back of the scrum. Hui Rama
No obstruction.
goes himself. Nice to see him running the ball.
Hold! Release!
Yeah, he will, as we said, he'll be better for that hit out. Bo
Go
Berg
on.
into dummy half. Shows one way, goes the other. Lukey back on the field.
Still going forward.
He hasn't done himself any disservice tonight. He's been pretty good, the under-18s captain. He'll play the ball to Berg. Berg, not sure which way to go that time. Bevan, short ball, not sure that's the play in the wet. May have been tapped down, though, from Burleigh. They're saying no. They're saying Pride knock on, and it will be a Burleigh scrum.
Burleigh scrum.
just some levels of frustration have kicked in, I suppose, towards the back end of this half for the Pride. And I mean, you can't blame them. They're a side that won their first 7 games, lost last week in a gritty contest, I believe, down in Mackay. And this will go down as their first loss at home tonight. That main game kicking off at 6 p.m. tonight. You can get down for that. Still, what, 20 minutes until kickoff? It's going to be a cracker. Jakey Clifford in the side again for the Pride this week. He'll be in the halves. We'll get to that, but still a few minutes to go on the 20. Some solid defence there. Pushes Burleigh back to 5 metres out from their own line.
Now, mate.
Still hitting and sticking here, which you like to see. No quit in either side. It's a big run. I think that's Daniel Shannon, who now has the head taped up. Lockie Turnbull back into dummy half after a stint on the bench. That pass looked a long way forward. It's been allowed to go. Luke Maiden will play the ball 39 metres out. Moves up to the 40 as he crept over the mark. Lockie Turnbull kicks from inside the 40. Just a bit of a dribbler. Onto Rothery, who's moved to the back. I'm not sure why. Jaconia onto a wing. He was fantastic at fullback, especially in that first half. Particularly in defence too. Hui Rama into dummy half. Josh Del Charlie, some of the Pride forwards still trying to get back. Some tired boys out there. Been a tough game. Hui Rama back into dummy half as Charlie tries to play the ball in no great rush. And in off his wing to do some work is Namabai, who rolls up towards the halfway line. Berg shouting instructions from dummy half. Decides to come out to this short side. Marcus Nona with a head full of steam gets it 40 metres out. There will be a chance for an attacking kick at the back end here. Simon Bevan goes through the hands. Burke decides to kick. He's no stranger to it, of course, playing in the halves most of this season. And Campbell may have been collared a little high there, and it's been called. Hui Rama, a bit of a lazy hand back into the game. Campbell, I think, looks okay. I hope he is. Yep, back up to his feet. He's a terrific talent.
It's a high tackle.
Really good player. Just about being the best player in the field for me today. Jaden Campbell. If your family's watching down in Burleigh, you have a tremendous talent on your hands. In no rush to kick for touch here are Burleigh. This game is iced. A couple of minutes to go. Burleigh Park, 28 points to 10. The Burleigh Bears over the Northern Pride with our main game kicking off in 18 minutes. Can't wait to see Gallum Osby at the back tonight for the Pride. Sean Bowen's moved out to a wing. Jarvid Bowen will be there. Braden Torpy's moved into the centres. Interesting to see how that move goes. But all the attention on Jake Clifford. Can he force his way back into that Cowboys squad? Tristan Powell takes the ball up to the 40-metre line. He'll play the ball. Chance at the back end here for Burleigh to get up over 30. Luke Maiden with a bit of ball playing. Campbell decides to kick early. There's an opportunity here for Burleigh. They tow it forward. Absolutely missed. Oh, no. Rothery just ran straight past that. Kudos to him for being brave, attacking the ball. He got a horrible bounce. Dry time for Burleigh. And it is now 32 points to 10, and it's been a bit of a blowout. It's a shame because that first half was very close. As we see the replay on this one, as this Campbell knew that not much was on, decided to kick, saw the wingers are up. A little toe ahead from Tarpany, and missed by Rothery. He looked like he did get a bad bounce there. And Jackson Paulo, he's been pretty solid tonight for Burleigh. Falls over the line to make it a 22-point difference. Kick to come to push it out to 34. You'd think this will be the last moments of this one. I don't think we'll have time for kick-off with 50 seconds to go. The weather holding off. We had a bit of rain early in this one, which has just about drenched Burleigh Park.
That was right on one.
Handling's been pretty good from both sides, to be fair, considering the conditions. But hopefully the rain stays away for the next game. Goal kicking duties, this one have been handed over to Lockie Turnbull after Campbell doing a lot of it early on. Couple of metres in from the sideline. Back to the drawing board for the Pride 20s. 2 losses on the trot. Back at home again next week, as of course all the sides. Turnbull's kick.
No goal.
Is no good. Waved away. Final score here at Barlow Park as the siren is about to sound. The Burleigh Bears 32. your Northern Pride 10. It was 12-10 at half-time. It was 10-6 at one stage to the Pride. Unfortunately, though, just couldn't get the job done in the second half. Burleigh ran away with it, who moved to the top of the table after that one. The Pride still sitting pretty close to the top. They sit back into third place after that loss. So still in a good position on the table. Didn't get the chocolates tonight. I think we're just about ready to go down to Rowan, who is by the sideline, and it looks like he's got Colt Salmon with him too.
Thank you, Elliot. Down here with one of your favourites, Colt Salmon. Mate, how was the game out there? It looked pretty tough in the middle.
Yeah, 100%. It was a tough day in the office. Yeah, we just played hard, but we just didn't get the result. Yeah.
And we were hoping to see some corneros make their re-entrance, but not today.
Yeah, no, I actually went down to the market to go get them done, but the line was too big, so maybe next week. Maybe next week.
Maybe next week, there you go. And there was a bit of an incident regarding a power bill at you and a few of the ISC boys' house this week. What happened there?
Oh, I know, just slipped my mind and part of growing up, I guess, make mistakes.
Nice romantic candlelit dinner with the boys.
Yeah, we'll have to use fucking headlamps to eat dinner, so it wasn't the best. Yeah.
Too easy, Cole. Thanks for that, mate. I'll let you get in with the boys. Cheers. And straight up to you, Elliot. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Rowan. Appreciate it, mate. Nice to see Colt still smiling after a tough loss. As we said, the under-20s boys still in a good position. They'll be sitting in third after round 10 and a loss tonight to Burleigh. The main game is about 14 minutes away. We're going to come back very soon, though, and meet a lady who is the heart and soul of rugby league in Cairns. Her name is Pat Bailey. It's coming up shortly after a word from our sponsors. Welcome back to Barlow Park here for round 10. We have the Northern Pride taking on the Burleigh Bears tonight. And it is 2nd versus 10th on the table. My name's Elliot Lovejoy. We've booted Rowan a long way away because we are joined by, let's say, royalty of the CDRL, the heart and soul of the CDRL, Pat Bailey. Hello, mate.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all your listeners and viewers.
Yep, look, Pride TV, all thanks to C Swift, made possible by those guys. And this game tonight should be a belter. Now, tell us, we've had a couple of changes come in. We have heard that Cam Torpey is joining the bench with Hugh Sedge out. Tonight, actually the first time that Cam and Braden have played together for the Pride.
Yeah, I think it's the first time they played together.
Yeah.
And when you have a look at with the two of them, they're different players. They're different. One's a forward, one's a back. They look very much alike. Cam's a bigger built.
Isn't he a big boy?
Yeah, he's a big
huge.
boy. And I've known their families. I've known their dad since childhood days when my brother, Brian's eldest brother, was my brother's best friend. And so I've known the Torpies for many years. And it doesn't surprise me that their father was a good player. He played for Brothers. And so Braden has got, he's just had a good go with the win with the university side.
Saw that,
and Cam was just unlucky to get that and then just coming straight back on. Mm-hmm. But I think that when you have a look at Jake Clifford playing in that role again, that I just saw him in the tunnel and he has developed a lot more. And he's just such a nice kid, you know, and I just, all these kids, they're in the number 2 position under Sunny Coast, and I just hope that our guys can, you know, when you have a look at Sunny Coast, they've got 7 or 8 sometimes Storm players coming back in.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, like we're lucky with what we get back in. We're lucky that Gideon took the early guilty plea, and Javin got... Gideon got not guilty, and then Jabba took the early guilty plea, and they did ask me what I thought about what Javin did, and you know you really can't say what you really like to say.
Yep.
But yeah, he was quite. But you know, the two of them, they're quite shy, and you say to Gideon, "Why? You know, he's my cousin. You know, that's the one he bit. You know, so it's really." It's just this is what they're like, though.
Yeah. Look, Pat, it should be an absolute belter tonight. As you mentioned, the Torpy brothers playing together for the first time. Cam's back from injury. It'll be interesting to see how Braden goes with the switch out to the centres after, of course, pretty much always playing in the halves. I'm looking forward to seeing that move. Gallum Mosby into fullback. You mentioned before the combination of Clifford and Campagnolo. Pat, before we let you go, prediction for tonight's game. Give us a scoreline.
Okay. 20-22 to the Pride.
That's what we like, 2022 to the Pride. You heard it here first. The heart and soul of CDRL, Pat Bailey. So lovely to catch up. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Northern Pride TV. We're going to come back with the main game. We're about 4 minutes away from kicking off after a word from our sponsors. Welcome to Pride TV tonight at Burleigh Park. Your main game about to get underway. Round 10 sees your Northern Pride take on the Burleigh Bears. It's 10th versus 2nd. My name's Elliot Lovejoy. I'm joined up here from the Cairns Post. Rowan Sparks, 7 games in a row, 7 losses. There is no hiding from the fact that the Pride need a victory tonight.
Absolutely, and that's been the message, I think, from Ty Williams all week to his boys. Is, we're running out of time this season. If we want to be there at the end of it, now's the time to switch it on.
Now, the Pride 1 to pretty much 17 as named, just the one change. So we'll go through quickly. Gideon Gallum-Mosby at fullback, Muzamechi and Sean Bowen on the wings, Jarvid Bowen and Braden Torpy, who moves into the centres tonight. Braden, the first time he's ever played with his brother, Cam. Cam coming to the side on the interchange bench. Jakey Clifford in the 6 with Jack Campagnolo, both Tully products at 7. Your front row of David Murphy, Will Bugden, Connor Jones in the number 9 jersey. To the second row now, Ewan Moore, Tommy Hancock, the skipper, and Peter Holler locks the scrum. And to the bench, Jordan Biondiodo, Matt Lemire, and Aidan Day in the 16. And as I mentioned, Cam Torpy coming in to replace Hugh Sedger. For Burleigh, some wholesale changes we've had come through. Curtis Rowe at fullback, Leo and Robert Davis on the wings. We've got Saluma in the 3 jersey. In the 4 tonight, Brenko Lee comes into the side. Didn't play for the Titans this afternoon. Rogers and Fogarty in there in the halves. Page and Buchanan starting in the front row. Pogatoni at hooker. Hayden Swass in the second row with Hind and Costa locking the scrum. Dill Fythian, the ex-Knights player, in the 14 tonight. Josh Alamay, he's in 15. Jeff Lynch jumps onto the bench in the 17, and Darius Farmer in the 18 jersey tonight. Those are your Burleigh Bears. So a few changes there. If you're a Burleigh fan, the team we got on paper, there's probably 5 or 6 changes to that, Rowan.
Yeah, they like to throw us a few curveballs, I guess.
Don't they? Yeah.
Big in is Brenko Lee, I think.
Brenko Lee in, but Jack Stockwell is out, who I was looking forward to seeing play tonight. He's out. But Dill Fythian, be interested to see him play. I grew up a Newey fan, and he was punted from the club for some indiscretions, including a few drug problems in there too, party drugs. Was punted from the club, sort of searching for his home in the QRL, and has found that at Burleigh. He will wear the 14 tonight, so it looks like he'll start on the bench. And coming out, handsome as always, Tommy Hancock leads out the Northern Pride, David Murphy behind him. A must-win game. You mentioned it before, Rowan. They must start fast tonight in wet conditions, hold on to the ball, complete your sets. And I'm looking forward to seeing the number 11, who was a star for the under-20s, is now starting for our senior side, Ewan Moore.
And he's been incredible. He's only played the one game at the top level. That was against Mackay 2 weeks back. And a solid 80 minutes. And, yeah, couldn't ask for much more on that night.
1-2. Yep.
Ewan, a terrific player. But tonight we are playing a terrific team. Burleigh sit second. If my maths is right, they've won their last 5 games. 5 in a row after a bit of a shocking start for them. We're just about ready to get underway.
Burleigh,
Burleigh Park, I think the number 5 is Roberts Davis, who will kick off. And here we go, your main game, all thanks to C-Swift, keeping Northern Australia connected. This is Pride TV, and here we go. Rumbling forward to start, I think, is Dave Murphy, who's taken by 3 or 4 in the tackle. The dominant start from Burleigh in that one. Jones, the dummy half, gives it off to Buggo. Big Bugden rumbles forward. Had the concussion of all concussions a few weeks ago. Nice to see him back at his biggest and best. You see Jakey Clifford out there to the short side. Ewan Moore next to him. He uses him. Moore pushing his way up just short of the 20-metre line. A good start defensively for Burleigh. Jones back into dummy half. Hancock now gets it over to about 25 metres out from the line. They need some work here to get themselves in a better kicking position. Clifford decides to go a tackle early. It's not a great one. Was it played at, though? Bowen decides to pick it up. And a knock on in there. Then accidental offside, which will lead to a Burleigh penalty and not the start we needed.
Just a bit of a ricochet there. Not too...
I don't know if you say it was played or not. Doesn't matter. Brenko Lee, who we've so often seen for the Raiders and the Titans, lines up for Burleigh tonight. And he plays the ball as they go out to Polatoni. At the back again. The number 13 tonight for them is Sam Costa. He has taken 15 metres out from the Pride line. First opportunity here for Burleigh. They'd love some early points. They come short side. I don't know if they was quite expecting that one so early as Jacob Hine is taken. Manages to stay inside the field of play, a couple of metres out from the Pride line. They come again. Number 8 tonight is Luke Page for Burleigh, 11 metres out from the Pride line. So far so good in terms of defence for the Pride. Polatoni comes out to this far side, a show and go from Josh Rogers. And an early penalty here for inside the 10. Chance at some early points for Burleigh if they so wish to take it. Yeah, it looks like they will be taking the 2 to start this one.
Smart decision, I think, with, considering the conditions. Not often you see teams take the 2 in the Queensland Cup. I'd like to see it more often, I think. And I think now's the perfect time for it.
Especially, as you mentioned, in these conditions, points hard to come by. Well, you'd think so, although in our 20s match before, Burleigh found a way to rack up 32 points to 10. They were winners in that one. But you would think in this main game where defence will be a little bit more the focus, points will be hard to come by, so probably not the worst decision here for Burleigh to kick things off. In saying that, I have seen these kicks missed before. Isan Masters has missed about 4 of them for the Tigers this year, so you never know. It'll be Fogarty open for first points. You just get the feeling Jakey Clifford's really wanting to own this game today. He's been in and out of the Cowboys. Such a young guy, such a likeable young guy too. He'll be wanting to put his stamp on this one.
And I guess, you know, he's going to... Obviously, confidence will take a hit, but it's not all too bad for Jake. Obviously, forced kind of out of the team with the return of Tomalolo and reshufflings with Asiata. But, you know, he's got a chance to assert some dominance here tonight. And I think he'll take it.
Burleigh Park is our location tonight in Cairns. Our next home game is actually going to be at the Roos home ground, which I'm looking forward to broadcasting from there. But that's a conversation for another time. This is the main event right now, so if you've got a chance to get down to Burleigh, still some seats are available. This is going to be a cracking game. I can feel it. Burleigh with the early lead. 3.5 minutes gone. It is 2-0 as Clifford gets us back underway.
Stay on.
It is the Pride running left to right in this first half. That's a monster kickoff. Well taken too by Josh Rogers. But it's good field position defensively for the Pride. Buchanan to play that one. Was listed on the bench. Ends up starting tonight. No Jack Stockwell for Burleigh tonight. And on tackle 2, they're about 14 metres out from their own line. Rogers into dummy half. Up quickly in defence.
Tom, hands away. Here, David,
Here's Bugden and Hancock. Slow play the ball. Luke Page.
PNG International.
That's where I've seen him before. He's
The
a
White
big boy.
Kummel, they call him.
The White Kummel. That's a lovely kick. That's a really good kick. It's just set up though. Gellum Osby does pretty well there. Decides to offload to Sean Bowen, who moves out to the wing from his preferred centre position tonight. As good a defensive centre as you'll see in this comp, so I think he'll handle the pressures out on the wing just as well, you would think. As Musumeci, the Greek god that's actually Italian, comes in looking for some work, and he is trapped 35 metres out from his own line. Jones into dummy half. Your story about him, I was reading the Post this week, Rowan. You know, he's up to the challenge if he does have to play 80 minutes tonight.
Yeah, it's good to see, and he's got the full backing of his coach as well, which is what you want as a young hooker. Only 10 games into the starting sort of hooking role in Queensland Cup level, but holding his own for sure.
Clifford shapes the kick, ends up giving the ball onto Bowen, who, if he's managed to hold on to that one, which he has, he's done well, because he was hit with force by Branko Lee and a couple of others early. Bowen ducks into dummy half up to the play of the ball. A quick one at that. Clifford goes to the heavens. He's hit another planet tonight. The old fakeroonie from Campanolo pretending he was going for the ball, trying to distract, but well done by the Burleigh winger taking that one.
Classic move.
This is Robert Davis. Jared Hayne became pretty good at it, although in a lazy way, just throwing a hand out, trying to distract whoever's taking the ball in front of him.
That's it.
It's a pretty strong run there. Braden Torpey in the 4 tonight. First time that Cam and Braden have played together. I think either his mum or his dad is up tonight to watch. The other one will be watching on the stream. So a big g'day to Mr. and Mrs. Torpey. We're so glad to have Braden back up here and to have Cam up here. Of course, part of the Dogs 20 system. Overcame that injury and he is on the bench in the 19 jersey tonight. We'll see him soon, I would assume. As the kick is well pressured by Jones, but it's a pretty good one. Finds the space. Musumeci looks to link up with Gellum Osby, does so, who turns on the speed, and his 2 runs early, he's looked pretty dangerous. Campanolo into dummy half. Torpey, first chance to run as a centre with the Pride.
Just looking at his brother on the bench there, it looks like they've actually chained him down. He's that keen to get on.
Yeah, I think after some issues with injury he had with the Dogs 20 system, then to start this season as well as he did and have an injury, he'll be raring to go. As the Pride get a penalty on halfway, that was Peter Holler's real first involvement, earns his side a penalty, and he is a confidence player, so that's just the start that he would have wanted and the Pride would have as well.
Love watching him play, Pete.
Pretty unlucky not to make the resident side, I thought. Last week, but
yeah, I thought he was a chance sneaking onto the bench at least, but yeah.
Co-captain David Murphy to play this one. He's in the 8 jersey this week. Jones comes out to this far side. Bugden, a great run. Pushes straight through the middle and past a couple. Quick play the ball as well. Jones picks it up. He decides to come short to David Murphy, who puts the footwork on the line. It's pushed out in a good bit of defensive work from Burleigh, and I would think there'll be a line dropout. Pride to get the ball again here. A pretty good bit in defence. I think that was Curtis Rowe, the fullback, who just ducked in at the last minute.
So just stripping at the ball in the act of a try there. Is that what happened? They just ruled knock on Burleigh, is it? Or?
Yeah, that will be Pride ball again. It's just, he's done pretty well there. Over the line. How was the footwork at the line from David Murphy? Showing no signs of injury anymore, is he?
Testing that knee out.
So it will be a scrum. Campanolo to feed it. Half expect Connor Jones to break off the back of it.
They've struggled to score first in a lot of their matches, so a big opportunity.
Just a bit of miscommunication there. Braden Torpey forgetting he's not a 5'8" anymore. Get out of the way, Braden. Not this week anyway. As David Murphy, who went so close to scoring before, just takes a settler up the middle. Buchanan helps at the legs there with Luke Page over the top with one of the worst haircuts I've ever seen. Wouldn't say that to his face. He's terrifying. Gellum Osby with the tip on. Bowen attempts to do the same, but instead plays handball and whacks it into row 12. That was pretty until it hit Bowen.
It was. Did he have a bit more time there, maybe?
I think he did. I think he felt the play looked pretty. Let's keep it going.
Well, if it came off, gee.
Well, if he had his time again, I think he maybe would have gone to catch and pass. Pretty good work from Mosby. His shape out the back was nice, but yeah, I think he probably did have time to catch and pass there. But if you're going to make an error, do it in the opposition's 10-metre line.
Good signs, creating some space there for Sean.
We've got May Marnie from the 20 Systems in front of us with one of the greatest haircuts of all time.
Connor, off that ball. Square here.
Could I pull that off? No.
It's like it looks like a pineapple. Anyway, back to the main game. Torpy in that tackle, Campanolo on as well, and someone hanging on for dear life at the bottom. I think that was Dave Murphy. Burleigh looking to work the ball out of trouble here. That's a lovely little short pass onto Saluma. Left centre today. Number 12 is Jacob Hind. They haven't had a chance of the ball for a few sets here, Burleigh. They're rumbling forward up towards the halfway line in this one. Pat Politoni comes out short side again. And Saluma, for his second hit up in this set, is taken 37 metres out from the pride line. Chance to attack here on the last. They do so with Josh Rogers putting up the bomb, and Gella Mosby comes down with it pretty safely and is taken 10 metres out from his own line. Buchanan on top in the tackle there with Rogers chasing his own kick. There's a Mecchi now collared, potentially high, and called that way. Buchanan, I think, just slipped up a bit there. And the Greek-Italian god is okay. I hope he never cuts that hair. Geez, that's a look.
And you love these kinds of penalties early and out of your own end.
It's a bit Pat Rafter-esque from his heyday.
Oh, there's one for you.
Pride after that kick on the 40-metre line. And it's Peter Holler taking the ball forward. He's been solid to start this one with limited involvement. A couple of strong runs though. Page over the top with Buchanan, the starting props for Burleigh. Dave Murphy just had to stop in his run there as the pass wasn't quite as he would have liked it. From Jones, who dips back into dummy half. Campanolo hits that one at speed. Out to Torpy, who is absolutely hammered. Does well to hold on to this one. They come back out to the left. Campanolo again comes back and brings Hancock underneath. Hancock plays the ball 30 metres out from Burleigh's line. Campanolo's hands all over this one to start. Decides to go long out to Bowen. Bowen pushes off Branko Lee. Tries to push off another. Almost does so. He's taken awkwardly and tackled on the last. About 22 metres out from the line. Clifford takes the ball to the line. It's a nice looking kick. I'm not convinced that Campanolo wasn't taken off there. Taken out rather.
No, just let it go.
No, we're saying it's okay. Did you see the same, Rowan?
I thought it was pretty clear cut that he was taking off the ball.
Branko Lee with a hit up. Takes it up to the 20-metre line of the Burleigh line. But a frantic start from both sides. Pretty high-quality footy when you consider how wet it's been in Cairns. The track is pretty wet out there too. So hats off to both sides managing to hold on to the ball. Jack Buchanan, some excited boys outside, haven't they, I tell you. Jack Buchanan plays that one. And the kick there from Politoni is a beauty, and that may be a 40-20. We'll see in a second. I thought that may have been done inside the 40. And in fact, I think it was inside the 40 by quite a bit from Pat Politoni. Caught Muzamechi napping, and it will be Burleigh's ball. That's a good kick in the wet.
Great kick. Arguably the form hooker of the comp and former NRL player, Pat.
That's right. Who did he play for back in the day?
He had a few.
I haven't seen him play in ages.
We got the stats man on it.
Get the stats man on it. Get the guru to do something. About time they did. Luke Page taking the ball forward, 11 metres out from the pride line. Here is that four-man, Pat Politoni. Shapes one way, goes the other. Comes out the back to Curtis Rowe. Curtis Rowe steps off the left. Left again. And he is taken down by Connor Jones in a good one-on-one tackle. Looks for a quick play of the ball. Politoni comes back out to the right now. Short ball from Rogers is a good one. Onto Schwass, who is tackled by Ewan Moore and Jakey Clifford. The number 13 is Sam Costa, who gets the offload off. Buchanan looking to dive over here. Can the Pride hold him up? I'll tell you what, I think the goalpost has done its work there. Intrust super, congratulations. Great tackle. Politoni skips over, and that man you were just speaking about, Rowan, the form hooker of the competition, rolls through one tackle, plants the ball over the line, And the Bears now lead 6 points to nil.
There he is, just that little scoot out of dummy half. Pat Politoni played a couple games with Cronulla.
Did you ever get a meat pie in the NRL?
He bagged 3, I think.
Played one, what do we got? 1 with the Tigers, 11 with Cronulla, 4 games with the Gold Coast.
And some rep duties for Tonga.
You're guilty. What a player.
Yep.
Oh, he's off to a good start in this one, as are the Burleigh Bears. In what's been an arm wrestle, you almost feel the Pride a bit hard done by there because they look pretty good to start this, but they're going to have to stay in this fight because it will be a fight tonight. When you play the second team of the competition, nothing's going to come easy. And you would think after this kick it will be 8 points to nil with 15 minutes gone in the first half.
Just had an early opportunity too, the Pride down their end, and couldn't come up with points.
Nothing to jump out. There's not much.
Composure is probably that word that we've used a fair bit over the last few weeks, and I think Burleigh showed that down at this end where they didn't force the pass. Unfortunately, with a couple of tip-ons up the other end,
30 seconds
we didn't do the same.
Just trying to...
Game of inches.
Just a bit more patience and pressure game is probably what's needed.
Jamal Fogarty with the conversion, and it is beyond a converted try now. 8 points to nil, the Bears over your Northern Pride. Pride TV is all thanks to C-Swift, who are a fantastic company. They keep Northern Australia connected. Wherever in North Australia that you are shipping cargo, honestly use these guys. I can vouch for them. We've used them a million times before. They're quick. They're so good to deal with. They're so personable. Check them out on Facebook or their website for more details. And they will be helping us stream every single home game this year, which is awesome. Let your friends know. Maybe there's family members or some teammates. I know either Mr. or Mrs. Torpy is streaming this one. The other one's up here watching the game. Of course, Cam and Braden playing for the first time together tonight. Cam coming off the bench. Braden out in the right centre position as we're back underway. And Burleigh have the ball with Buchanan 12 metres out from their own line. It's Lukey Page, as you called him before. Rowan the White Kummel, PNG International. There's a bit of Corbin Sims about him.
He looks very tough.
Oh, doesn't he? There's nothing not scary about a man with a mohawk. Here he is again. Bit of ball playing this time to his front row partner in Buchanan.
I bet he probably doesn't just look tough either.
Oh no, I'm sure he would be tough. 100%. Front row of a PNG, you got to be tough. They move up to the halfway line. A lovely little offload from Hind. And again, they look like they're away here. The offload again, a force pass this time to Gella Mosby. Oh, almost had some room to move there. Great hands.
There's some skills to pick that up on the fly.
I think there's a big future for Gella Mosby in that fullback position. Obviously, he might be behind a player or two at the Cowboys at the moment, but they could do worse things than putting him in there. Muzamechi now is taken 42 metres out from the Pride line. There is the flying Mohawk, and the number 6 in there is Josh Rogers helping in defence. Campanolo after a long ball, back out to Clifford, who goes inside to Bugden. He was taken short of the halfway line. Connor Jones. They call him Remax Best, Connor Jones. Out to Braden Torpy, too well to take that one behind him. Muzamechi, nice footwork, cuts back inside, does well to hold that one. Thought about the offload, made the smart decision. And he is taken down with the Pride a chance to put an attacking kick here. Campanolo instead goes along the ground. A bit of a nothing end to that set. I think he would have liked to have that one again.
Yeah, I think maybe in the air was the better move, but...
And maybe I'm from an old school way of thinking. I think if you're in the 40 to 30 metre line, throw it up in the air. As Branko Lee is not allowed to play on that one.
Back to the ball.
Why not throw it up in the air? What's the worst that happens if you throw it up in the air? I know Curtis Rowe's a good fullback at the back, but, you know, he's not going to tear you to shreds if he catches and goes.
He might.
There you go.
He's got some pace.
Throw it up in the air.
A relieving penalty, not what the Pride fans wanted to see.
Not after a good set and attack either.
Yeah. Hold for the foot.
Robert Davis sporting the man bun. Made his NRL debut not that long ago. Branko Lee takes it over the halfway line.
11 offside.
And the Burleigh Bears with another chance here. Pocketoni gets stuck between playing in that hooker and first receiver role, which is handy for them. That pass looked marginal at best. And marginal at best is what it is. The pass is called forward, and the Pride will get the ball back here.
There you go. The forward pass is still a rule.
Well, if you caught the under-20s game today, there were some calls
Let's start coming in,
that Weren't great.
Pride.
Let's just say they weren't great.
Bring it in.
Couple of missed. Curtis Rowe with this one. Yeah, that's Tom Brady on a 4th down, hoping for the best.
Nine's arms up and over the
He
top.
never normally gets to the 4th
Let's
down,
go
does he?
back.
Normally sews it up before
Outside
then.
up again, Pete. Thanks.
He's good.
Yeah, he is very
Heads
good.
in. Jack needs your hip square. The scrum. Yep. Head in. Sammy, head in. Good
A few
defense.
NFL fans in this
Feed.
Pride team, actually. No, Jack Murphy wasn't playing tonight. He's big on it. As Braden Torpy comes infield for a bit of work. Javid Bowen does well to get away from 1-2, pushes away from a third, and he's taken just over the halfway line. A bit of extra work from Robert Davis is surely a penalty.
He's off him.
And he's
You go
given
back to
Rowan
him,
throwing his
set him
hands
up.
up in the air. If
I
that
just
wasn't
thought it
ordered,
was a bit long,
Just
you know?
stand up.
I thought it was just a tad long.
Just giving you the tip.
that was a
You got
lot
the
long.
penalty, you just tip.
Penalty awarded correctly.
Jeez, early ball out to the left is looking
In the
good.
middle.
Yeah, Bowen looks on tonight. He had one tip on that went into the grandstand earlier.
Hold for the
Besides
tap.
that, every time he
Hold.
touches it, it
Go.
looks dangerous. Ewan Moore from the under-20 system. Got his first game last week for the
Hayden
Pride.
off the ball.
From
Square.
all reports,
Hold here. Hold. Go.
did not look out of place whatsoever. Gets rewarded again tonight with another go. Connor Jones scoots from dummy half, is wrestled backwards.
It's enough, Sam.
The Pride with
Square.
the chance here, though.
Hold here. Hold. Go. 2.
David Murphy, the co-captain, will be tackled about 15 metres
Jack,
short
stand
of
up.
Burleigh's
Square.
line.
Hold here. Hold.
As
Hold.
your Northern Pride
Go.
look for their first points of the evening. Jones takes it.
I
Has
got
that gone
backwards,
forward?
Backwards. Then an off.
It has
Going.
been called play
Go
on.
backwards.
Musamechi. Thought potentially a
Still
knock
free.
on in there, but we'll roll with it. Musamechi
12,
plays it.
stand
Everyone
up,
stopped. I think they were
square.
waiting for the call.
Hold. Go. 4.
Jones now, as they come out towards the left. Will Bugden plays the ball 10 metres out. Eventually he's wrestled
Last
it down. He will
tackle,
play the
Luke,
ball
square.
10 metres out from Burleigh's line.
Hold.
Campanolo shouting instructions. I'd like to see Peter Holler get involved close to the line as
Good.
Clifford kicks this
Yep,
time. It
no
looks
touch.
big.
Dead.
And is
Dead.
so. I don't
20.
think any
Running
touch
it.
there from
Running
Rose,
it.
so it will be
Blow
a
the
20-metre
whistle.
restart.
On the
And
whistle.
we mentioned that word
Turn.
again, composure in that
Go.
20-metre line, that
0.
attacking 20. Just not quite there yet.
No, it was the right play, but just the execution.
Up now.
Defence
Here.
there, as
Pride.
we
Hold
say
here.
that, though, from
Will,
Tom
Will.
Hancock standing up and
Hold.
Peter
Go.
Holler.
0.
You know, that one driving Robert Davis back.
Dave, Connor, square up. All the way here, boys. Hold.
Saluma to
Go
play
one.
this one. Branko Lee comes infield looking for some work.
Offload.
From a Raider.
Still 1.
Gee, Ewan Moore, he's lined up
Dave,
on a
up and
couple
square,
of
Will
NRL
to
players
hit,
in
Will
his 2
hit.
games for the Pride
Hold,
so
go to,
far.
thank
He must be loving it. What is he, 18, 19-year-old kid, getting the chance to play against people, as you said,
Give space,
players like
Tom.
Branko
Square.
Lee that have NRL experience.
Hold.
Very cool.
Go,
Luke Page
3.
plays this one to Polatoni. Rogers, who's run the ball a lot early.
Peter, no more. Here,
He will
Tom.
play the
Dave,
ball about
here.
37 metres
Hold,
out from
go
the Pride
4.
line as Polatoni
Connor,
ducks back
offside.
into dummy half. Fogarty
Now good, Connor.
turns Sloss back inside, and there is that man, Ewan
Last
Moore, we were
tackle,
speaking about.
lock in.
Casper the Ghost.
Go.
Good go with the tan. Can play footy, though.
Left good.
Fogarty goes to the air this time.
Backwards.
The attempt to catch
Still
is not
fine.
taken. Lukey Page is tackled, and I would say that will be a
Just a
handover.
handover, Luke. Ball down.
That's why under-20s coach Dave Scott said he was missing Ewan for
Right.
obvious reasons, but one less
Go.
obvious reason.
Go.
He was the only
Go.
guy in the team whiter than him. Paler, we
Yeah.
should say.
Yeah, I don't think he's
Jack,
ever
stand
visited the
up,
old
square.
solarium
Hold here.
as Ewan.
Hold Jacob.
It doesn't matter when you're
Hold.
that good.
Go.
Connor Jones, dummy half. Sean Bowen off his wing, looking for some work. Haven't seen a lot of him early.
Stand
Looking
together.
for the ball.
Square. Hold here. Hold.
Slow
Hold.
play the
Go,
ball.
2.
Burleigh winning the wrestle so far in that aspect. Clifford shows inside to Moore, goes himself.
Held,
He's wrapped up
held.
38
Come
metres
on.
out from the Pride
Square.
line. A bit
Hold.
stop-start
Go,
this
3.
set so far. Just looking for a bit of momentum, and David Murphy looks for that as he takes the
Straight
ball
up,
up to the
Jamal. Square.
45-metre
Hold it.
line.
You're holding
Jones
on to
ducking
him.
back into
Go
dummy
4.
half.
Just stand up.
Comes out to the right.
That's good. 9 in
And
the middle.
Campanile thinks
9,
stuff it. Let's go to the air. Does so. It's a pretty good kick. The chase is good from Torpy, but he fell off, as did Wuzamechi, and it's a great return here from Troy Lick.
Move. Here.
Poor
All the
Tony,
way.
yes.
Hold.
Can throw
Go,
a good
2.
right too. If you
Did he get a distinct, did he?
saw some time on the sidelines.
Did he?
for, a shot on the
Release him.
Blackhawks.
Oh,
Parker Walsh.
I did see
Bring it
that
up.
footage. I did see
Come
that.
forward.
Yeah.
Just wait. Burleigh to here.
Can't
Stop.
be doing that anymore.
Burleigh, come here.
Yeah, it's play slowed down
Go,
here.
3.
Bowen gets back on the mark, and Ewan
3.
Moore takes it Turns his back, tries to force backwards a couple of metres, does so.
Hayden, off
A
the
wrestle,
ball.
almost signs of a
Look at
crusher
that.
there.
Go
Fights
for
for
no
the quick
markers.
play ball
He
too.
does. And Jones, good bit of footwork.
Last
Lovely
one,
tackle though.
great go.
Jacob Hine from Burleigh on that
Go.
one. Sean Bowen, after a sloppy play the ball, gets it to Clifford, who shaped the kick.
All on.
Ran a little bit longer. Finally got the kick away. And Leo just helps Burleigh continue
You're
to
off
win
the
that
ball.
field
Here's a 10.
position
Hold.
battle.
Go one.
Nice work from Ewan Moore. Did his
Stand
work
together.
out of dummy at
Sweat.
marker
Hold
there,
in. Hold
rather.
wide. Go.
As Curtis Rowe is taken. Buchanan, great run from the big man. Makes
Move
about 13
now.
metres. He's
Here's a
tackled
10.
39 out from the
Hold.
Pride line.
Go.
Burleigh on the attack again. Feels like we've been saying that all
mate. Yeah,
game.
go.
A lovely ball from Fogarty. They go back inside. And you would think this is try
Balls
time
down. I've got
for the
good
Burleigh
training.
Bears. It is. Curtis Rowe crashes over, and that was all too soft.
Just found that little gap out there, and that's all they needed. Valiant chase, but to no avail.
Yeah, it looked like Jarvid Bowen was going to get there for a second. I think Curtis Rowe had taken his foot off the gas, didn't realise it. Nice work from Fogarty. He takes the ball and just delivers a lovely one away. Back inside. Curtis Rowe looked up and thought, uh-oh, here comes Jarvid. Very nearly got stopped there. Did pretty well to hang on to it in the end. Yeah, but not good signs early on here for the Pride. It's 12 points to 0. Kick to come. Bears lead. 14 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, we just go back to that opportunity the Pride had earlier
Distance is good.
to
There's
actually
not much line speed.
take the
Obviously,
lead.
yeah,
They could have
front
took it
two.
to 4-2 or 6-2. Yeah, they're staring down the barrel of 14-0 deficit.
Tell you what, Burleigh, one of the feeder teams to the Titans in the NRL, could maybe used a few of these blokes this afternoon. Politoni in particular, they went down to the Bulldogs 22-16. The Cowboys at the moment locked in an arm wrestle with the Eels. 6 points all at half-time.
There's no line speed.
West should come home strong. That's the Eels. I'm
That's
talking
right,
about.
you're a para fan. You shouldn't even be allowed up here. Fogarty converts 14 points to 0, 13 minutes remaining first half. Burleigh, second place for a reason. And some good news though, because it looks like Cam Torpy, who came off a pretty horrific injury, is up and about and is very close to getting onto the field for the very first time with his brother Braden. Big shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Torpy who are watching tonight. I think one of you are up here, someone else is down south, so you're very proud of your boys. Number one, yes, they're good footy
Sounds
players,
righty,
but
guys.
both are really lovely guys off the field, which is what's most important. We've had a few dealings with Braden. He's a fantastic guy. At the right centre tonight. Cam not far away from coming on. Number 16, looks like Aiden Day has come on for David Murphy. And Clifford is just about to get us back underway. Barlow Park sitting on about 23 degrees. The rain has stayed away for the main game, which has been good so far. But the Pride need points. There's nowhere else to put it, and that kick will not help. That's out on the fall from Clifford, and that's inexcusable. I know we're big on hitting corners, but it's a big field.
Not the first time he's done it in the Pride colours this year, I believe. It's a tough field with this athletics track. Just a picky spot.
Fogarty will look for touch here for Burleigh, the halfback. He's been in everything to start this one.
On the 40, mate.
Hold for the tap.
And
Hold
they'll have
in.
another chance to
Hold.
attack.
Go.
Set straight after points. Burleigh crash inside the 40-metre line of the Pride.
Tom, off that
His first
arm.
involvement there,
Hold,
Aiden
go.
Day, coming
Come
off the bench tonight in the 16. Politoni goes short
Hands
on that
away.
occasion, and they'll play
Hold,
the
go,
ball
two. Play.
with Sam Costa. Politoni again, he's in everything as well. They get out the back to Fogarty. We just spoke about him,
Balls down.
and he's crashed over. Look at that, Politoni, Rogers, Fogarty. What a combination those guys are, and that
Up.
just
Go.
looks so easy.
Was some speed there from Fogarty.
That left side of the Pride defensively just struggling a bit, and maybe it is some new combinations. Clifford came up a long way. Bowen wasn't with him. And Clifford, I think, has just come up and left too much to do for the other boys there. Do you think it's a confidence thing at the moment after, you string a few losses together on the trot? Do you not trust the man inside or outside you, or?
Oh, I think that's bound to be something that comes up after a few losses, yeah. But it's just, you got to find that belief, I think, to call your way back.
I can tell you, Cam Torpy is absolutely itching to get on the field on the sideline. He's been pacing up and down for about 5 minutes. Get him out there. Let him run rampant. It looks like Buchanan is off the front rower for Burleigh. Coming onto the field for them is Josh Alamai. He's another big bopper. And Darius Farmer for them, also readying himself to come on. He's in the 18 tonight, a late inclusion into the squad, keeping us on our toes. 18 points to nil, the Bears lead. 9 minutes to go, first half. The crowd here at Burleigh Park is stunned. Hopefully the Pride can find a way to work themselves back into this clash. Otherwise it could get a bit ugly. Fogarty on the wrong side for a right-footed kicker. Can't get that one to go over, and it stays 18 points to nil. What do you tell your teammates if you're in this position? If you're a Tommy Hancock, who's the lone captain on the field with Murphy off, what do you say? How do you get him back into the game?
I think you just got to look at the more experienced guys and look for them to turn the game on its head. The guys, I think, in the middle, Pete Holler, I think, is one that really needs to sort of lead the way.
Mm-hmm. Cameron Torpy out there now playing with Braden for the first time. Of course, the brothers, which will be nice to see. And Braden is the first one in on that tackle after the kickoff, which stays in the field of play, which is always good to see. The error leading to a try, unfortunately, straight after points.
Hands
Score
away
is
now,
very
back
quickly
in,
moved out to
Cameron.
18 points to nil for Burleigh, whose play the balls are quicker. Every inch of the game seems faster at the moment. But Cameron Torpy's first involvement there is a big hit over the top. He looks ready and raring to go in the 19. He's huge, the 21-year-old. Got arms bigger than my
Up
future.
together, Jake, again. Hold. Go.
Ewan Moore over the top in that tackle. The number 17 on for the Burleigh Bears is Jeff Lynch. He'll play the ball just short of the halfway line. Polatoni been in everything, absolutely everything. Gives it off to Rogers, who dribbles one across the ground. Muzamechi shows a bit of urgency to cut it off. Nice run too. Bumps off the kicker, who is Rogers, and will play the ball about 30 metres out, and it's the best field position we've had to start a set for quite a while. Gallum Osby now. To be fair, it's the first time we've had the ball for quite a while. Cabanolo into dummy half, laying on the man a long time in that tackle are the Burleigh Bears. They get away with it though. And I think that's Aidan Day taking the ball forward.
17.
Easy.
And a penalty for inside the 10.
Very good at getting the players on their backs, aren't they, this Burleigh team?
Good wrestle, really good wrestle. We saw that too with their 20s, so obviously it's something that's coached across the club, which is not a negative thing, by the way. Wrestle's part of the game, and they've mastered it.
Here, Josh.
Just buys you that little bit more time to get set in defence, and that's all you need.
And you see the difference in play the ball speeds, and that would be because of the wrestle, one would think, as Matolo Lamia is on the field. The ball is loose, and the ball is lost. Unfortunately for the Innisfail Leprechaun, he's dropped this one.
Here we go.
And that's, I was looking for the quick play the ball there, which is, what can happen once you get in that wrestle a few tackles in a row and just couldn't execute.
Burleigh Park, the location for tonight's game. Next week, we're actually going to be at Vico Oval, the Roos home ground. Going to be a special little regional tour for the next round. Can't wait to commentate from there. The last time I played there, I did my ACL. So that was good. Fond memories. Fond memories.
Right leg forward.
Hoping for a better time out this next week.
Well, I mean, I'll be sitting in the com box, so if I do my ACL there, I probably deserve it.
That's a right leg forward, Josh. That's it. Good to feed.
Jamal Fogarty to feed the scrum. 20 metres out from the line. They decide to go short side early with Curtis Rowe, one of the try scorers for Burleigh in this one. Jones over the top in the tackle. Renko Lee moves into dummy half. A settler taken by Hayden Schwass.
Move together. Square. Here it is. Hold.
Polatoni ducks back into dummy half, 40 metres out from their own line. That is Jeff Lynch, who takes the ball towards the halfway line.
Here it is all the way.
Cameron Aidan Day in that tackle with Lamia. Jacob Hine now beyond the 40. Polatoni to play it. Another quick play of the ball. There's a knock on. There's some relief for the Pride.
Cannot afford to concede any more points in this half.
No, 100%. Can't afford to concede, and really we need to score. The side that's coming second is unlikely to leak, you would think. 18 points second half, but you never know. When you have got players like Jakey Clifford, Gallum Osby, Jarvid Bowen, Braden Torpey,
Let's back him, roll
they can turn it on. Just needs things to click. We said before, it's a confidence game. It is 100% a confidence game. And just some points here going into halftime. Going to be all the confidence we need to get back into this one. Just under 5 minutes remaining here at Burleigh Park, round 10. Sees your Northern Pride against the Burleigh Bears. Down 18 points to 0 at the moment. Long way to go. Connor Jones into dummy half. Comes to this near side. Cameron Torpey, been solid since he's come on. He's made a difference. Jones goes short side. Clifford onto Ewan Moore. Played all 80 minutes last week in his debut for the ISC side. Of course, he's been part of the 20 system now. Didn't look scared of the bright lights. Connor Jones out to Campanolo. Another chance to attack here for the Pride. They've been few and far between the last 20 minutes. Holler to the 35-metre line. Again, that wrestle. Burleigh are winning that. They've done it really well. Chip and chase. Clifford looks to the ball. The bounce is horrible for everyone. It's held onto by Curtis Rowe, and here's a chance here for Burleigh. Rose away. Rose, he's over the 50, the 40, 30, the 20. He looks to kick. Turns Sean Bowen around. This is going to be a tight race. And I think no touch from Sean Bowen. No, they are saying there's a touch. As he slides over the athletic track, it will be a line dropout. That is how you turn defence into attack. That was fantastic stuff from Burleigh. Unfortunately, Clifford didn't get the bounce off the Campanolo kick. It was a set move by the Tully friends. Unfortunately, didn't pay off. But how's the speed from Curtis Rowe? The chase from the Pride, a good one. And Sean Bowen cleaned up at the end. But look at him go. Peter Holler. He's got good legs for a big man. Gallum Osby is probably the fastest man on the field.
10 seconds.
And Fogarty very nearly got there, if not for a bit of good work there from Sean Bowen. They went short. I don't mind that tactic. Didn't work out, though.
Matt, hands away.
No one was expecting it, including Burleigh, but they managed to clean it up. Looks like some of the right side chasers for the Pride weren't so sure either. Torpey in defence there with Day. Two men fresh off the bench. Make the tackle. And Burleigh have a chance here. They're taken. That's Jeff Lynch. He's about 4 metres out from the Pride line. Polatoni gets into dummy half. Scoots in there quickly. They go out. Lovely little set move. Fogarty's taken just 4 metres out from the Pride line. Really can't afford any more points here before half time. 2.5 minutes to go. Rogers back inside. That's Alamai. And he'll play the ball 7 metres out. Mustang on the Pride. Polatoni comes short side. Kicks. It looks deep. Is so. And the Pride will get the ball and a 7-tackle set. Brenko Lee is screaming, saying there was a touch off a Pride hand. I couldn't see it. I'm also a long way away, so who knows. As the Pride will have that 7-tackle set. They'll kick it off now. And a chance to march downfield as Braden Torpey takes the tap. Big day wherever you're watching Pride TV tonight. It's all thanks to C-Swift, keeping Northern Australia connected. You're up in the Torres Strait, Cape York, Cooktown. Maybe you're down south, you're a Burleigh fan. Big day to you, and congrats to your team going great guns this year. After a tough couple of weeks to start the competition, you won the last 5 games. No, a lot of that ball shot out the back. Connor Jones, and it's a knock on. Forced offload from Jarvid Bowen. And they are definite signs of frustration towards the back end of this half. Means Burleigh have another opportunity. He's a big boy, that Josh Alamai for Burleigh in the 15 there, about to pack the scrum. Very solid. Quadzilla.
Arms up and over.
Hold the 9 on this
And energy zapping first half for the Pride. A lot of defence to do.
Right leg up, Josh.
Just need to hang on here to give themselves a chance in the second half to start afresh. 1 minute to go. You'd think this would be the last attacking set of the half. Polatoni breaks from the scrum. Goes to Rogers. They shape to go at the back. The number 12 throws it to anyone, Jacob Hine, and they've lost about 20 metres on that play.
Square up now. Hold it.
Jarvid Bowen showing urgency to get to the tackle. And they'll take a settler back up the middle and get themselves back up over halfway, Burleigh.
Move together. Get
The
square.
Bears sitting
Hold
second
in.
on the
Hold.
table.
Go two.
Jeff Lynch plays it. Polatoni. Rogers with a ball that, sure, we'll call it flat. Didn't look so much that way.
Offload, play on.
Alamai,
Still two.
they get it off to Rogers, and they're 20 metres out from the line now.
Hold in.
Another chance here for Burleigh, and another must-hang-on set for the Pride. Polatoni goes into first receiver. He's bumped into by Costa there. Obviously weren't on the same page, and he takes a settler after coming underneath. Rogers ducking into dummy half. They push it out to this far side. They're thinking the one. Polatoni's done it all this first half. Why not make it an extra point? And the field goal is good. That will do us here in the first half. The Bears push that lead out beyond 3 converted tries. It is 19 points to nil. The Bears lead over the Northern Pride in what has been a frustrating first half if you're a Pride fan. All to do in the second half down at Burleigh Park. The good news is the weather's staying away. Hopefully we get some dry weather footy in that second half. But it is all to do. Burleigh well on top in this one. Curtis Rowe, a try scorer. He's played well. Both halves have looked good. Fogarty and Rogers for Burleigh. Pat Polatoni's stolen the show, though, so far. He is an outstanding talent. Bit of NRL experience, and that is showing out there tonight. Ty Williams, I'm sure, getting the boys here at half-time. And Rowan will get in yours now because he is down sideline with Braden Torpy.
And just here with one of the Torpy brothers, Braden, what did you make of the first half there?
Yeah, mate, just dropping the ball when we don't need to in their half, and just fifth tackle options could be a bit better, I think. So, yeah.
So plenty to work on. What's the kind of the key points for the second half?
Just getting through our sets, build a bit of pressure. Obviously, slow the play ball down. Polatoni's getting out really nice there, so just trying to work that play ball a bit more.
And you and Cam taking the field together. Nice to be out there together.
Yeah, I haven't really taken too much notice of it so far, mate. Just trying to get back into this game, but yeah, obviously it's nice, but we want to get the win first.
Focus on the job. I'll let you get in there, Braden. Thanks very much. And back up to you, Elliot. Thanks for you.
Big thanks to the boys lending their time at halftime. That's Braden Torpy. He's a lovely young gentleman. The Pride with it all to do in the second half as Burleigh lead 19 points to nil. We'll come back with that second half action straight after this.
Today's best music.
So I've got Jack and Josh.
Probably about the power. Welcome back to Burleigh Park Pride TV, all thanks to C-Swift tonight. Keeping the northern parts of Australia connected. Our main game, it is 19 points to 0 at half-time. Burleigh taking on the Northern Pride. Burleigh are up. But from our under-20 system, one of our favourite Kiwis, because he's the only one on the side. Well, besides Jonah Remaker, he's not here tonight. Colt Salmon, hello, mate.
How are we?
Tough evening for you boys. Your first loss at home, 32 points to 10. Honesty session, where do you think it went wrong?
I'd have to say through our middle. It always starts with us, and we just didn't perform today.
Had some big boppers on that side, the
Yeah.
early side, some big boys.
They're not small kids, no.
No, looking to bounce back next week as you play at Vico Oval, which is the home of the Kangaroos here. But just a quick story time that we haven't gotten to properly yet. So Colt lives with Connor Jones from our senior side, as well as Will Bugden.
And Matthew Musmichi.
That's right, and Jonah Remaker from our 20 system. And do you care to tell us what happened about 2 or 3 days ago in the House of Bugger?
Oh, so we just got home from work and nothing would turn on, no lights. And we're like, oh shit, is the street out? We're like running outside, and no, everyone else's TVs were still on. And then we found out we didn't pay a power bill.
No, don't make it weird, because it wasn't just you and Jonah in charge of paying power. That's what I've been told.
Nah, so we've all got our split payments.
And you didn't pay your split bit.
Jonah and Connor.
Yeah.
Connor didn't actually pay.
So Connor didn't.
Yeah, Connor dobbed us in.
Connor's been saying that it was just you and Jonah that he paid his bit. So there it is. You heard it here first. Number 9 tonight. Connor Jones is a liar.
Yeah, Connor's cleaning the house tomorrow with us as well. So that's our punishment.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, that is punishment. Well, Connor, I tell you what, if he scores a double in this second half, do we let him get away with it?
Yeah, I'll clean the bathroom if he does.
All right. And done. Colt Salmon, good luck in the 20s next week, mate. Appreciate your time.
Sweet. Cheers.
Cheers,
Thank
pal.
you.
Thanks, buddy. Second half action just about to get underway here at Burleigh Park. We mentioned before, Burleigh, they are second in the competition. They lead 19 points to 0. The Pride with all the work to do in the second half. And by the sounds of it, Rowan, Connor Jones with all the work to do at home with Buggo and Colt Salmon. What a fibber.
He's a bit of a cheeky bloke.
Connor Jones, you can never trust a hooker, so to speak.
Well,
kick off just about under. We just had Colt drop the S-bomb on us. It's all happening here today. Fantastic. Pride TV, you never know what's going to happen on live TV. It's all thanks to C-Swift. And we are just about to get underway. Burleigh will be running left to right to start the second half. And starting on the bench in the second half for the Pride, both co-captains, I believe, are off, David Murphy and Tommy Hancock.
Stand side, guys. Thanks.
Will Bugden is off as well, and yet to see any game time as of yet is Jordan Biondioto. We're underway here. The Pride goes shortish, but very high. That's a fantastic take.
Straight up now, he's at 10.
Who's underneath that? I think that's Rogers has taken that in the wet, sliding, pressure on him. That's really well done. Would have loved an error there to start. That would have been nice for us. Jeff Lynch rumbles forward.
Lock in, hold here.
Polatoni, best on ground so far. Comes back inside to big Josh Alamai, who's just about, I know I say this every week about a new player, but he's just about the biggest human I've ever seen in my life, Rowan.
You do say that a lot, but there's some big
Because
humans
they keep
going
getting bigger.
around.
They keep getting bigger.
That's right.
Aiden Swass plays the ball. Polatoni to Sam Costa. Costa taken in a dominant tackle by Connor Jones. And I think that's Peter Holler. Oh, no, sorry, it's Matai Lemire.
Middle and right.
They hoist to the air. A test here for Gala Mosby. That's a great take under pressure.
All sorts of pressure there. Done very well.
Bowen decides to go himself. He's picked off fairly easily from marker by Polatoni. Rogers in helping as well. Gala Mosby looking to do some work. Fast feet helps him get past the 30-metre line. Jones back into dummy half. Here is Peter Holler. Speaking of fast feet, he's a fantastic for a big boy. Gets the offload away. Pretty good one. No one put their hand up, so Gala Mosby thought, stuff it, I'll take it forward. And he's trapped just short of the halfway line. Again, Burleigh winning that wrestle early, though, in the tackle. They coached well. Campanolo kicks, drives it low. And it will be Roberts Davis trying to take the ball forward after going sideways. And he's taken by Campanolo, the kicker, and Lemire. Brenko Lee in looking for some work. Spoke about him earlier, former Raider. Played quite a few games for the Titans. Seems out of favour in that starting side for them, so he's back playing for Burleigh. And Lynch with another carry. He's been busy to start this second half. Pride with it all due in the second half, Rowan. I wonder what Ty would have said to him at half-time.
I think it's just, getting back to the basics, completing those sets, and just trying to build that pressure. They just seem to try and score every time they're down there. I'd just like to see them, take a bit of time.
And I'll just stop you for a second. There's a real chance here, but tell you what, Gala Mosby has saved a certain 4-pointer. Rowe maybe just held the ball a little bit too long. I think it was Rowe. May have been Leo. Polatoni ducks back into dummy half as they come to this near side. Jeff Lynch taken 10 metres out, and another opportunity for Burleigh early in the second half. Must stop them here. That's a great ball. Juggled, taken, and Josh Rogers crashes over after a fantastic ball by Josh Alamai. And there's a few confused faces out there. Campanolo looking up, wondering what's going on. Matalo Lemire, hands on hips. Not the start we needed this second half.
There's some sublime ball play there.
Oh, wasn't it?
Had to juggle it too.
Lovely. Really did. I'm just wondering where the defensive line was there, because Matalo Lemire wasn't really anywhere. I think that's maybe why he looks confused. He was unsure of his role in that, but it's in the past now. Burleigh lead 23 points to nil. You'd think about to become 25. 7 in a row. Tonight, if they went down, it would be 8. Takey Clifford taking the ball back to the halfway line. Tough evening so far for the boys. Can we turn it around? Clifford, I'm sure, will look to go high to the air off this kickoff, create a bit of pressure, and we start again.
Stay on side.
Back underway. There is one of those kicks that I know Clifford has worked with Cole Felt on. Goes to the heavens. And Burleigh look to bring it back. In the NRL tonight, 20 minutes to go. Cowboys, Eels. Eels are up 10 points to 6.
Very good thing.
Unbelievable, letting a Para-fan in the box. That was juggled. I'm not convinced it wasn't juggled into Torpy and then regathered. Could have very easily been a Pride ball. It is play on though. It's a 50-50. Rogers uses his centre. Nice bit of footwork, but he stopped easily enough with Holler over the top. I think Braden Torpy underneath it was. Rowe comes back inside. Nice footwork from Big Jacob Hind. He'll play it. Polatoni, forever dangerous, comes back. Rogers is taken in a one-on-one, but wonderful offload. Here's that ball playing big boy. Alamai again. He does exactly once of that. They just can't wrap up the man at the moment. Ewan Moore looks to do just that with Jarvid Bowen, and Lynch is taken.
They're killers, these offloads.
Oh, they are. They're really hurting us at the moment. And Pride are looking tired. Oh, no.
Wow.
Ball's down.
I'm happy that it's all in one motion.
Well,
He's just plucked that out.
he has. I'm not sure Gala Mosby went with the urgency that he needed to at that ball. I don't think Ty Williams would be proud of that effort. Roberts Davis, on the other hand, has proven why he has an NRL experience, because he's done really well there. Gala Mosby just looked hesitant, didn't he? I think he got stuck between, will I make this tackle or will I grab the ball, and ended up nowhere.
Ended up doing neither. But,
You guys all right still?
it was a tough old bounce.
It was. It wasn't a nice bounce at all. And it's a
Last one.
tough old game, this one, unfortunately. 29 points to nil, the Bears lead. Still 33 minutes remain, second half. Well, the good news is that the heavens haven't opened up. There's Will Bugden and David Murphy, along with Tommy Hancock, are warming up on the sideline. Looks like Jordan Biondioto's just come on for Connor Jones as well, who gets a spell after playing the first 48 minutes.
Just keep inputting the people when they pop up, like we did with
Just
the
finding
9
holes in the
That's
Pride
the
defensive line, Burleigh, aren't they?
is just direct you around the field where you need to go.
Yeah, they're making meters, rumbling through the middle, and we mentioned that wrestle. That's something they're very good at. Reminiscent of, a Melbourne Storm coach side where you always see them win the wrestle and the tackle. There is a stark difference in play the ball speed between the two sides tonight. Connor Jones down on the sideline here is just, as that try is converted, just getting a left shoulder tested out. Hopefully he's okay. We'll try to have some more mail on that a little bit later on. He looks all right. He's just trying to stretch it out as we speak. He's taking a seat on the bench. About to get back underway here. Clifford kicks off again. I feel like we've said that a few times tonight.
Hopefully not too many more.
Stay on side!
Long way to go.
Long way to go on this one, and a long way up in the air. That kick again taken well by Joshy Rogers, and once again it is brought back out by Burleigh. They play the ball about 30 metres out from their own line. I like this guy, Joshy Alamai, set up a try earlier, got quick hands, and of course he runs the ball hard. Andy bloke to come off the bench, and the middles are tied. That's a nice run. Speaking of tied middles, Sam Costa, who has played the full 49 minutes so far. Fogarty out to Rogers, out to Rowe. They look to use the ball once more. That one is dropped though, knocked on, and the Pride have an opportunity. As we see, Jordan Biondioto has entered the frame. Of course, Connor Jones still getting that shoulder looked at on the touchline. The physio now doing some work with him. Looks like a left shoulder. Hopefully no serious damage. He's in a bit of pain though.
Just another half gap there for Burleigh.
They're running through it easily, aren't they? There's Connor as we speak. Worked by our cameraman this afternoon. I think that's Carlos Castro who's with him. He's in safe hands. He's a very good physio. If he can fix me, he can fix anyone. He's Total Physio and Cairns. If you're not seeing them, you're doing yourself a disservice. They're very good. And a ball that's poked out, but that'll be a penalty, one would think. There it is. If that wasn't, I was packing up my bags and going home. And the Pride will have a chance to attack here, and we haven't said that many times tonight. Campanolo boots us up just past the 40-metre line of Burleigh. And there will be an opportunity here. Tap and go. Campanolo comes out the back here. Peter Holler, can he make a difference this second half? Something needs to go our way. Biondioto ducks into dummy half. A role he's learning this year, mainly playing halfback, his senior career. Lemire. Hands weren't particularly safe in the second half. Make sure he hangs on to that one. Jordan Biondioto sums up his options. Comes a long way out to Clifford, who goes short into Ewan Moore. Driving his legs forward. Alamai dove at them, and he crashed out of that. He kept going. They wrestled him for about 4 minutes before he's allowed to get up. No penalty somehow. It's play on. Lemire, 5 metres out from the Burleigh line.
Off the ball now!
Burleigh lead 31 points to nil. Biondioto looks both ways. Goes to the far side. Clifford wasn't real pleased with that. Tapped on by Torpy. Muzamechi is taken 10 metres out.
Go.
Torpy to dummy half. Braden, that is. Campanolo kick. Biondioto wanted it close. It's touched by no one. And that is a try. Ewan Moore. No. Well, Rowan, talk me through that, because I thought Ewan Moore just got his first senior try.
It looked to me that was the case.
They're saying knock on.
Zero coming.
We'll have to get another look at that in a moment, because
It's hard to see.
but you give benefit of the doubt, do you not? When you've got no video replay, oh, maybe not. Maybe you did grasp that. Fair enough. I can live with that decision.
Hold. Go one.
You slow it down.
Unfortunately, what looked like 4 points is not, and Burleigh again making meters very easily through the middle.
Give space there, Aiden.
Cam
Hold
Torpy
Jake.
in on that one with Aiden Day, I think was the other one. Short ball is dropped by Alamai, and this game has just gotten a little bit rugged. The attack of Burleigh, they're maybe just pushing passes they don't need to, getting a bit too excited. And
Let's go.
the Pride hopefully can capitalise here, score some points himself.
Poor ball boy's got to go all the way down and fetch that.
The same ball boy that fell on his face earlier tonight.
Arms over the top.
I think that's him.
Outside up, Aiden.
It was, I think it was Simon Bevan for the Pride, booted a ball in touch after a penalty. The ball boy on the racing track out here. To be fair to him, I think he still caught it, but he hit the tarmac pretty hard.
Legs went from underneath him.
Didn't it? It's like when you see maybe someone leaving a nightclub a little bit later than they should. Anyway, back to the game. Peter Holler. A nice run. Showing some intent there. Gets us up to nearly the halfway line. Beyond the Odo into dummy half. Campanolo comes out to Clifford. Clifford, that is read well in defence by Branko Lee. Galamosby pushes it on just to Jarvid Bowen. But for such a good attacking team on paper, just not quite coming together yet for the Pride.
Hayden, stand up.
Yes, I think it's just, there's been a lot of shufflings week to week.
Yep.
Does make it hard, but...
And when you see a side like the Cowboys who have been struggling, obviously they're not pinching. We are the feeder club to the Cowboys. They're moving players up. They're moving some players down. It is week by week you're building combinations as Clifford kicks here. Unfortunately, not probably the airtime he wanted on it. Ends up a bit of a nothing kick, and Curtis Rowe is taken about a metre out from his own line. Wonder if we'll see Dylan Fythe in at any stage for Burleigh. He's in the 14 tonight. Assuming he'll come on and play dummy half. Played fullback for Newcastle. And in the halves a little bit before doing his ACL and having some off-field dramas. But nice to see him getting another opportunity.
Hold. Go four.
And play's been left behind in back play for the Pride. We'll check in on that in a second. He's on our own 40-metre line, I think. We'll get a name on it soon, but he doesn't look well. He has not gotten up. Sean Bowen, that one got big on him. He did well to take it. Just took off at the last moment, I think. He gets it over. The Pride player is still down in back play. He's up to his haunches, I can say that much, but he doesn't look real healthy. Potentially Braden Torpy.
Up now, Luke. Square.
I can't see him in the back line, so I think it might be Braden. We'll keep you updated on that. I know Mum and Dad are watching tonight. I can tell you he's up on his haunches, so hopefully
Stand together. All the way to here.
He's not in too much trouble. In fact, he's back on his feet. Maybe just a stinger. We'll come into picture in a second. There he is on that far side. It is Braden Torpy.
Sam off the ball.
His first game with his brother Cam tonight. Unfortunately, not a happy one so far for the side. Still time. Clifford tapped on again by Galamosby. Bowen just thinks, stuff it. I'll hand it on to the other Bowen. It's Sean this time, who brings it back up the middle.
Last one. Square, Jamal.
And that's the last.
Hold. Go.
Should go to the air here, one would think.
Okay, all good through the middle. Yep.
It's just a nothing kick, that, for me, Rowan.
He's done the same last time, didn't he?
Give him space. Pride, they're here. Let's go.
Just only the one chaser coming through.
I just don't understand in the wet, when the ball is probably a little bit soapy, why not just hoist?
Here it is all the way. Hold. Go, two.
Bears marching it out now through big Alamai, I believe.
Jordan, Ewan, stand
He's
up.
been good.
Jake, all the
Oh,
way.
hasn't he?
Hold, go.
No, I don't think that's him,
Mark
though.
up,
As much as he has been good, that's not him.
Not him.
That ball looks to have sailed.
Out on the full. Yeah.
I think it is out on the full, is it not? Yeah. I didn't want to speak too soon in case it was another 40-20. It wouldn't have surprised me the way this game's been going. Roberts Davis, a bit cheeky, decides to catch that ball from the ball boy, then kicks it straight back out, straight away.
He's having a tough day out, the old ball boy, isn't he?
Oh, isn't he?
Hold it, guys.
Hope they're paying him the big bucks tonight.
Yep.
Chicken nuggets after the game. Mum and Dad, thank you. For me and for the ball boy. Lemire crashing forward.
Jacob, here it is.
That wrestle again from the Bears. Getting the Pride players onto their back more often than not beyond the Odo shows why he's a good half. And, oh, that's a terrific tackle.
Move now.
Put
Hold.
the ball right to the line there beyond the Odo before handing off to Hollow, who's been kept quiet tonight. Campanolo to Aiden Day, who does what he does best and rumbles forward just short of the 10-metre line.
1 foot and hold.
Hold. Go.
Pride with an opportunity here to post their first points. Clifford, what can he come up with? He goes to Bowen, and it's just not happening for the Pride. And Robert Davis is fast. Is he fast enough? I don't think so. He gets out of one, but he gets the offload away. Branko Lee cuts back inside, and he's taken. There's an injury in back play. I think it's Geller Mosby copped a knock in that tackle. We'll come back to that in a second. He stayed down. The trainer's with him. He doesn't look healthy. It was an awkward fall because about 3 players came together. I'm not convinced it wasn't a bit of friendly fire. Luke Page back on. That's a big hit over the top. Aiden Day, was that?
They've stopped it.
They've stopped it.
Yep. 2.
I think it was, yeah. Day over the top. Geller Mosby still down in back play. He's getting some treatment now as time is called off.
Jamal.
He's back on his feet.
Listen, if the arm goes up, we have to stop.
Bit ginger though. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him come off for a breather. Tommy Hancock is up and ready to go, as is Will Bugden. Can't imagine Buggo's going to play fullback though, although I'd pay to see it. 193 centimetres of him.
Okay,
He looks like going to get a concussion test here for Gideon Geller Mosby. He's not happy. He's just thrown his mouth guard. He's going to have to find it again.
I need that.
Yeah.
I'll take that back.
They're not cheap anymore, mouth guards. Tell you what, you get the like proper dental ones.
mould,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you fork out it, buddy. Yeah. They're not cheap,
No.
as he said.
Missed what happened with Geller Mosby there, but there was obviously some contact in that tackle when the break was made by Robert Davis, and I think he might have run into Sean Bowen. And he's off anyway. As they spread the ball early and look dangerous doing so, Burleigh. Big fend here from their big Sander, who's crashed over and looks to have potentially scored. They're going to point to the spot on this one. Sammy Saluma
No, you're right.
made that look very easy. He's a massive body. Braden Torpey, normally in the halves, has had his hands full all night. To his credit, he's lined up pretty well against him, but he could not be stopped, the big man there. And the Burleigh Bears, 35, are now racking up a pretty scary score against your Northern Pride, 0.
Just had the big fend, didn't he, there?
While you've been off as captain.
As we have another look.
Pushed off. Torpey, to his credit, came again. Musumeci couldn't hang on. Campanolo lost his footing, went too far. Bowen as well.
Right, that was a good move. There was 4 of them there. Just the spin and the fend.
Well, they're showing why they're right near the top of the table tonight. And as we look at the live ladder, let's take a peek. Falcons still out in front, but after tonight, Bears can close that gap until the Falcons play tomorrow. If they move up to 16 points, they'll just be 2 shy of the lead. Their for and against is unbelievable. At this stage, including this game, let me do some maths. It's over 220, I can tell you that much. 223. They're for and against. And as we look at the Pride on the live ladder, let's not go into our for and against for now. Let's just say we're sitting in 10th because we are. Fogarty lines up this kick from the sideline, a tough one. Strikes it well, but has missed to the far side of the post. It remains 35, the Bears leading the Pride 0. 20 minutes remaining, Rowan. It's to a point where we need to find some positives to take out of this game.
That's right. I think well, the first thing is going to be getting on the board. I think at this stage, no one likes to go home with the 0.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Has Ty Williams moved down to the bench?
They're coming this way, boys.
Yeah, I'm
Hard
coming
to tell from back
I think,
here.
yeah, he's down there.
Yeah, Ty's moved down to sideline.
Yeah.
Backwards in support of the boys.
Stand up now. Square mat. Hold it. Hold.
Hard to find a positive spin on this one so far, but still plenty of time to go. Plenty to come out of this game still. Jeff Lynch, who has been a positive for the Bears off the bench, he's been pretty good. Lukey Page, the flying Mohawk, takes it over the halfway line.
Hold. Go through.
Fogarty, lovely ball to Branko Lee. They're away again here. The offload is no good though. I think Robert Davis maybe just overran it, but the offload from Lee was, I don't want to say it, but perhaps one of the reasons that he's not playing for the Titans at the moment. Good player, but does push a pass.
Let's come in,
I suppose when you're up 35, you can afford to though.
Arms over the top.
Showed some pretty good speed there. Bowen just hung on for dear life.
Up and over the top of the
Probably
arms.
could have went the routine spiral there as well. Just
Or
opted
held
for the
Heads
flick.
in, shoulders on.
Yeah.
I'll cut here.
You're allowed to hold on to the ball.
Jump
Some
in,
centres
shoulders
aren't
on,
aware of it,
shoulders.
but you are allowed to hold on to the ball.
Feed.
Yeah, Todd Williams, his sideline, hands in pockets at the moment.
Move now. Get square.
I do like that from a coach when a club's struggling or your team's struggling on the field. I just think that shows a bit of solidarity. Like, hello, I'm here
Up
with you
together,
too.
square.
I'm struggling. I'm hurting. You are as well, but I'm here for you. Todd Williams is a lovely guy. I've no doubt that he will turn things around for this side. As the Pride have a penalty to work out of their own end. Campanolo finds touch short of the halfway line, about 45 metres out. Muzamechi quickly onto the
Hold for the
ball.
tap. Hold. Jack,
And
go.
Braden Torpy to tap. Hands it off. I believe, was that to his brother? I think it was. The first connection I've seen between the
Stand
Torpy
up.
boys tonight. Big
Luke,
congrats,
hold
playing
back,
together for the
hold,
first
go on.
time, which must be awesome. Lamia,
Luke, stand up.
nice
Square.
run.
Hold your
32
head.
metres out
Hold for it. Hold.
from the Burleigh line. Beyond Iodo, shifts out just in front of Campanolo, who throws a lovely ball back inside to Torpy, Cameron that is.
Square.
And he's taken centre field,
Go,
25 metres out from the line. They go to the far side this time. Campanolo goes short into Lamia again. It's becoming a bit predictable, that move. Burleigh read that one very well.
Straight up now.
And again, another Pride player forced onto his back.
Hold. Hold. Go. Four.
Been a common theme tonight.
Good. We're good.
They decide to kick early.
We're in
It's a
goal.
pretty decent one. It is taken out by Curtis Rowe, and I think that's the first
Everyone's up.
forced
Start.
restart that we have had tonight.
Time's
A few
on.
balls out,
30
a few balls that
seconds.
just haven't made the line. That's the first line dropout Burleigh have had to do.
And that's it. Oh, yeah. Building pressure. It's
20 seconds. 20.
just
Stay
aren't
outside.
quite there.
And little things like that can be so key. You look at it from a state of origin level, and they were showing some stats the other day. Mitch Pearce, God love him, but in all the series played for New South Wales, he forced one repeat set.
Wow.
So
Off him now.
as
Square
a
up
half,
tight.
that's your job, and unfortunately we haven't done that enough tonight, but there's a good sign. Binioto shows one way. They're up in Lemire's face, though, decides to hold it, and he's taken 25 metres out.
Hold, Jack.
Points
Go.
needed desperately here, if for nothing else than a bit of confidence. Cameron Torpy hasn't done
Jack off the ball. Square.
his
Heel.
family
Hold
any
back.
disservice
Hold for it.
tonight. He's been very good, I think, since coming off the bench. Biondiotto, Campanolo, that
Held it.
one read
Great.
really well in defence. Burleigh,
Get to the side,
as good as they are in attack,
Square.
geez, they read
Hold
plays
Jack,
well.
hold. Go forward.
Very good.
Biondiotto,
On.
honestly, I'm going to sort this out. David Murphy's back on the field. He takes it 5 metres out. Can we get some points on the board here? 16 minutes remain. Biondiotto goes the far side, kicks, tripped possibly Lemire. I think it was accidental, so a say play on it is.
Off him
And
now.
Curtis Rowe finds a way out of the in goal.
Is there?
Everyone goes 10.
Yeah.
And they're now just about 11 metres out from the Pride line. A few more after that, after Leo wrestles, and he's still going. Are we saying play on? No.
Take it back.
They'll have to play the ball
Just
on the
hold,
mark.
Hold. Try and hold. Hold. Got to blow time
What's going on here? They're saying that was a half a
Marcus,
centimetre
push up,
off the mark.
scanning two.
Unbelievable. Fythian's on the field, dummy half for Burleigh. We spoke about him earlier. Ex-Newcastle player, was touted to be the next big thing.
Up now,
Did an
Dave.
ACL,
Square.
came
Here
back
it
from
is.
that,
Hold,
had some
Cameron.
off-field discretions, and here he is
Go,
having a second chance at life with the Bears. He's out there in the orange boots.
Here it is, Cam. Go.
Elbow taped up in the 14. They decide to kick early through Polatoni. It's a good one too. Turning Bowen around almost a second 40-20. And
Yeah.
Jarvid, it is
Full back,
Bowen
full.
that's going to pick this one up.
Hayden off now. Jacob
Tommy
here.
Hancock having to do
Hold,
the work
go.
in dummy half. Hands it off to Sean Bowen. In the black headgear, Mossman Shark
Stand
Jr.
together. Square, Jacob, hold here.
They were missing him earlier this
Hold.
season,
Go
but the
two.
Sharks have found form in the CDRL. They're playing pretty good footy at the moment. They got some good brothers out there, don't they?
Yes.
Everyone's back and playing
Off the
Give him
ball
a boys
now.
That's right.
Stay square.
smashing it.
I
Hold.
heard they scored
Go,
like
sorry.
7 tries between them or something the other day. Something
Last
crazy like that.
weekend, yeah.
Unbelievable. How are my mighty Ivanhoe's Knights doing? Okay.
They're pretty
Jacob
solid.
off
They're
that
looking
arm.
well.
Hayden, here it is. All the way. Hold. Go four.
As we continue this
Inside,
second half,
Rooney,
14
Kevin.
minutes to go. Clifford looks to
Just
find
over
touch.
30.
And a few hands on hips out there now for the Pride boys. Next week, I think we're at home
Let's go,
to
Burleigh.
Tweed.
Yeah. Tweed will be coming up.
So they're coming 5th at the moment.
Let's start bringing it in,
They're
Luke.
4-1 over their last 5 games, so they're playing decent footy. That won't be easy. Another feeder club to the Gold Coast Titans.
Let's go. We've been retired a long time.
And that one's going to be at Vico Oval. You'll be able to get to the Kangaroos home ground in Cairns next week with the Masters games up here. A few shuffles, but I think it's a good chance to take a footy game to a local footy ground. It'll be good fun. We'll be there.
Good to feed you, Mum.
It'll be good. The crowd will appreciate getting a bit closer to the action.
I've heard the canteen there is very good. I'm looking forward to that. As the number 18, Darius Farmer, it's the first we've really seen of him tonight. He's on for the Burleigh Bears, so they've made a couple of changes, bringing in some blokes and giving them a go. Fythian is one of those gentlemen. And he takes the ball forward, just short of the halfway line. Polatoni off to Farmer, who has his second run in 3 tackles. Biondi-Odo in on that one with Cam Torpy, who's played a long stint off the bench so far. Probably been the Pride's best player tonight. That's a lovely short ball from Fythian. And he didn't look up there, did Jacob Hind. He had Fythian back on the inside. Luke Page now, the big bopper, goes himself. Geez, they had numbers left if they went there. Decide to hold it. Polatoni comes out the back to Fythian. A nothing ball has ended up a good result for them. And Branko Lee on to Roberts Davis. Makes it 39 points to 0 to the Bears.
They're racking them up here, the Bears.
Tell you what, when it's going your way, it's going your way, because it's a dreadful ball from Fythian. It's popped out the back. Some good news for Cowboys fans, though. 20 seconds to go in the NRL. Cowboys 17 over the Eels 10. Rowan, a diehard Parramatta fan. Makes that even a little bit sweeter. They came back. They were down in that, the Cowboys.
Yeah, didn't catch the end, but probably a few bad calls, I'd say.
Always is. The Parramatta can't play away from home. They're dreadful.
Can't play at home.
Oh, are they good at that? What's the new stadium?
Give it a few more weeks, mate. Mate, I've been here before.
Oh, actually.
I was going to say, how old are you? You're about 30.
Yeah.
So you've never seen them win a grand final?
No.
What was it? 86 the last one?
Yep.
Unbelievable.
81, 82, 83, 86.
Yeah, no, I don't care how many you have. I just want to know how long ago it was.
And,
What's
well,
that?
maybe 2020.
33 years.
We'll put a line through 2019.
Oh dear. All right, Jamal Fogarty lining this one up for the for the Bears, I should say. Safe to say, this game is in the can with just under 12 minutes remaining. Kudos to the fans. Most of them sticking around, which is nice to see. It's been a tough one to watch. I will say that about Pride fans as they turn up week in, week out. No matter result, no matter state of the game, they decide to show up and say good day to their fans, which we like. They stick around right to the end. That is an absolute stinker of a kick. It's the first bad thing Burleigh have done tonight. In some good news, Rowan, Gella Mosby looks to be up and okay. He's on the exercise bike at the moment.
Good news for Pride and Cowboys fans.
Jackie, go on.
Worrying signs for me is the Connor Jones. Hopefully not much to it, but he hasn't really gotten up since he had that shoulder twinge on the bench. He's still there. He's got the jacket on now. I'd be very surprised if we see him again tonight. Hopefully just precautionary.
Stay on side.
Aiden Day is back off now, as is Matalo Lemire. So most of the starting side back out there. As we kick off again. We've done that a lot tonight. Luke Page. Jeez, he runs the ball hard, the big whopper. I reckon that's the first thing I'd do. If I was a front row forward, I'd get a scary haircut like Luke Page.
I think you run harder with it.
I think you do. The mohawk makes him more aerodynamic.
From what I've seen, anyway.
Oh. Jacob Hind. They got a good pack, this Burleigh side. Obviously, their outside backs have been dangerous, but it's been one through the middle this game. Also, their halves, fantastic. Speaking of, Jamal Fogarty almost kicks a 40-20 again. Jeez, their kicking game's been really strong tonight. Sean Bowen is taken, and we will work the ball out from our own line. Branko Lee wraps up Bowen for about 5 minutes, it seemed. Was Mechi going nowhere on that one, and the Pride players, there's still some getting back with 2 tackles into the set. Some tired boys out there. Will Bugden looks for a bit of inspiration, tries to create it for his side. He's 13 metres out from the line. Jarvid Bowen ducks into dummy half. You'd assume he'd go himself. He does. Takes it up past the 20. And that's 4 tackles done. And in fact, that is a ball lost. Oh, jeez. Tough evening, this one. Some frustrated players out there. Luke Page. They'll do well to keep out Burleigh here. Long 9 minutes to go for the Pride. Buchanan now rollicks forward. Strong contact by David Murphy. Skipper doesn't give up. Politoni, a lovely short ball. Going to be hard to stop from there, but I think they've managed to do it. Nice contact low from Holler and Torpy over the top. Buchanan stops. He's going to have to stop or he'll be called for obstruction. He does the right thing and it will be play on. He'll play the ball quickly. Politoni goes short side. Strong contact again. Campanolo this time. David Murphy in there helping, and that will be a handover. Pride ball. So, really the first time we've been able to repel them on our own line as the rain starts to fall at Burleigh Park.
Yeah, it only took 70 odd minutes, but
up together, stay square.
Yeah, tough evening this one. Some tough watching some of this footy, but only way is up for the Pride, who are staring down the barrel. 8 losses in a row after this one. Back to the drawing board. Ty Williams still standing sideline. Poor bugger's getting absolutely drenched, as other players.
Go 3.
Geez, he was a good player to watch in his day, Ty, wasn't he?
Set it
No
right,
nonsense
didn't he?
winger.
Still 3. Yep.
Played a few games at Queensland. Had the old schools. Anyone that rocked the old school steed and headgear, like him and Menzies. Geez, I love that.
Jack, Jamal, let go. Hold, go 4. P square.
Braden Torpy, lovely hands there. He comes infield looking for some work, bumps off one, tries to get through a second. He's taken 37 metres out and he's wrestled. How is that not a penalty? Campanolo chips for Clifford. Clifford, oh, he's got a terrible bounce.
Play on, it's going to be 1.
That sums up the evening in attack for the Pride. Just nothing, even when you try that kind of stuff, nothing's come off.
Off that ball now. Square, hold
The
it.
old Tully boys looked like they were putting something together, but
Go 1.
Oh, he was there, wasn't he? Just didn't get the bounce he wanted.
Cruelled by the bounce.
Contact, Hancock. The skipper in there with Buggo. Roberts Davis plays the ball infield. As the rain continues to just drizzle down, it's eased off a little bit. It's been on and off most of the afternoon here at Burleigh Park. In Cairns, we've had some heavy stuff. As speaking of heavy hitting, that's Buggo. Will Bugden came in, strong contact there. Finished off with the help of Ewan Moore. And Fogarty will play the ball. Oh, strong contact again. Tommy Hancock this time. Pride looking to aim up in defence this last 10 minutes, which you're liking. Politoni.
Yep.
Kicks centre field. It's a good one. Splits the winger and fullback. Muzamechi to bring the ball out. He makes an easy 10, 15 metres. Give him even a little bit more on that, maybe 20. He's taken by Buchanan. He's wrestled. No penalty given. Sean Bowen ducks out of a couple. Makes another 10 metres. The wrestle continues. Trying to play the ball. Isn't allowed to. Biondiotto goes to Braden Torpy. And Braden... Well, he's backing him in for all money there. Did pretty well here. Did Jarvid Bowen said goodbye, Branko Lee.
The flick.
I thought he was oh, okay, he was pushed. He was probably going out, but I would have
get it back in.
He did, yeah.
Yep.
Sean Bowen.
He's up.
Cuts a forlorn figure out there, as do a lot of the Pride players. Sort of sums up the evening, unfortunately.
This one.
Yeah, it's been a tough one for the Pride.
Over the top.
Yeah, especially you start the season with 2 wins, full of hope. Remember that first game against Redcliffe? They were absolutely fantastic, the Pride. And granted, we had a few players, Nano McDonald and a couple of others in that squad who obviously now went up to the Cowboys. Unfortunately, been injured since then. But it's still a strong squad. So I suggest you stick with the boys, because I really do think they can turn it around. If you're catching every home game with us on Pride TV, it's all thanks to C-Swift.
Go on.
Keeping Northern Australia connected and keeping you connected to the Northern Pride no matter where you are in Australia. You might be watching in Tasmania, Perth, Northern Territory, up in the Torres Strait. Maybe you're in PNG. Big good day wherever you're watching. Always lovely to have your company. Unfortunately, the performance just not quite where we need it to be tonight, but this one rolls on. 40 metres out for the line. Burleigh, they get another quick play the ball. That flat pass is allowed to go. Fythian goes out the back to Fogarty. Dylan Fythian in the 14 can play 7, 1, 6, 9. Seen him playing the centres too. He's a pretty handy player to have on the bench for Burleigh. Sums up the depth they've got at the moment. As Buchanan is taken, 35 metres out, just under. 3.5 to go in this one. An awkward old kick knocked on by Biondi-Odo. This might be trouble. They go out, they get it out to Troy Leo, who dives over into the corner. And what's the verdict on this one? I think they're going to say it's okay. The try is awarded despite the efforts of Gella Mosby and Braden Torpy out on that wing. The scoreline getting a bit ugly now. The Bears 43. That ball was fine from Rowe. A couple of try players not happy with it, but it looked all right to me.
Second one.
Leo diving for the corner, which we thought Sean Bowen might do at the other end. So it popped out for him, and Torpy nor Gella Mosby could stop that one. Had a chance to put it up to 45 for the Bears. 2.5 remaining in this one. Ty Williams, the coach, we mentioned earlier, he's moved down to the bench. He's sitting down next to Connor Jones now. Very much back to the drawing board. This will be 8 losses in a row. I think with 4 and against, I'm just looking at the live ladder now. This will push us down to 11th. Redcliffe will just push up ahead against us. With a few games to go this weekend, still we could move down into 12th. Potentially if the Magpies get up tomorrow. The beauty of this competition, though, is that in 8th spot at the moment are the Jets, who are just sitting on 8 points. So to put that in perspective, the Pride are only 2 wins out of the 8. So it's one of those competitions where the top 7 are a bit away from everyone else, but that 8th spot is up for grabs. Put a couple of wins in a row, and you just never know. In the game of footy, conversion is waved away from Fogarty. It stays 43 points to 0.
Yeah, mate.
Field goal on half time has given us that odd number. Pat Politoni just about man of the match for me today. He's been very good. Played a few games in the NRL. He showed why. He's a very handy player as the number 9 for the Burleigh Bears. And the Pride will kick off again. Jeez, we've done that a lot tonight, haven't we? Jakey Clifford puts this one up. A minute to go. He goes short. It doesn't work out. Roberts Davis with nice hands, but he's driven back by the Bowen cousins. In fact, no, there's a knock on. So the Pride will have an opportunity here. Will Bugden, credit to him. He's a leader, and he says, "Pat the scrum, boys. Let's at least have one chance here. Come on. Let's have a shot with the ball to finish. Let's get some points on the board. Give the fans something to cheer for." Speaking of those fans, credit to you. If you support the Northern Pride, whether you're watching tonight on the live stream or you're down at the game, the fans stick around. That's what I love about this club. There's going to be tough times, there always is, but just remember the good stuff, and there'll be good things to come. Clifford, Biondi-Odo, Campanolo, back underneath. Gella Mosby weighing up his options, comes back underneath again to Braden Torpy. Torpy thinks about the pass, decides to hold it, and he's taken 37 metres out from the Burleigh line. 24 seconds remaining in this one. Still be a chance here to score. David Murphy, he takes the ball up, but he's driven backwards. This Burleigh defence all night has been menacing. 13 seconds remain. This might be the last play of the game. What do we got? We go to the far side. Campanolo turns Holler back underneath. If he's quick, he might get one last play of the ball. 4, 3, 2, 1. That'll be all she wrote. No, they're allowing one more. Biondi-Odo out in front of Campanolo. Clifford. Bowen back inside. Gella Mosby kicks. It's a nice looking play. It's play on. Bowen has stepped on the touchline, booted the ball away anyway, and that is game over. A disappointing evening here at Barlow Park for the Northern Pride as they slump to their 8th loss in a row. Back to the drawing board. But let's stick together, get through the tough times. The Bears 43, the Pride 0. And a wet, sad old evening. The under-20s going down 32 points to 10. As we mentioned, the seniors went down. Bright light. I thought Cameron Torpy off the bench was tremendous tonight when he came on. It's nice to see him get a chance to play with his brother for the first time, Braden.
Thanks, Cameron. Cheers.
You know, there's Ty Williams there, standing sideline and standing by your side. He'll turn this around, I have no doubts.
Thank you.
We'll cross down to the field in a second. We just sent Rowan down there. He'll have a yap to one of the boys about the game tonight. Probably the less said, the better by a few of them. But congratulations, Burleigh. They stick solid in second position on the ladder, and for good reason. They're a well-drilled outfit. Their forwards are fantastic. They're really good halves. And my man of the match, all 3 points went to Pat Politoni, the number 9 tonight, who I just thought he was absolutely terrific. Pride TV will be back next week as well, of course. We'll be at Vico Oval, which is the Roos home ground. Looking forward to that, taking the game to I suppose you'd call it another regional ground, wouldn't you? Vico Oval, just out of the city there in Cairns. We're against Tweed that weekend, so I've got to get up for that one, another home game. But we're just about ready to cross down to Rowan, who I think is found one of the boys to speak to sideline.
We caught up with Braden at halftime, got the younger brother Cameron. First game back, mate. How'd you go? How'd you pull up?
I'm just happy to get through the game, to be honest. Obviously got a lot of work to do. A bit rusty, haven't played in 9 weeks, but yeah, just happy to get through that one.
Obviously good to get on the field with your brother. First time at Queensland Cup level, but not the result you were probably after.
Yeah, mate, it was unreal to play with him today. Just unfortunately didn't get the win, which was disappointing, but you know, we can only work it from here.
And Tweed next week out at Vico Oval, hoping to back up there.
Yeah, mate, look, we're desperate for a win. We're going to have to do a lot of homework this week, and we're going to have to put a lot of better performance than tonight.
Do as you can. Appreciate you taking time, mate.
Cheers, mate.
I'll let you get in there. Thank you. And back up to you, Elliot.
Appreciate your time, Mr. Torpy, and thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Pride TV, all thanks to C-Swift. We'll be back next Saturday for our games at Vico Oval. Keep up to date with Northern Pride on Facebook for more. For now, though, it is farewell. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you next week.